Full show. We'll talk to you tomorrow, Tracy.
Have a good one.
It is 2:58 at WTMJ.
This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. The Energy Star ratings for windows are getting a lot tougher to get the tax credit, so you're going to want to take advantage of. Fortunately, we still have options that will qualify you for those tax credits. Now, I can sit here and talk benefits of this product or what's great about that product. So can everybody else. But what a lot of operations can't do is, with complete confidence, stand behind the crew that's going to be on that next job. Talk is cheap, I get it, but our people are exceptional. How do I know? Because me and Vito handpick every single person that makes our team. Some make the cut, a lot don't. And that's why you can be confident that the windows we install for you will be top quality, installed right, and that you're going to get great service. And that's never failed us. So for your home's new windows, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Fox and Hounds and Mineshaft restaurants are hiring friendly, people-oriented servers. You'll make real cash, full or part-time, and always busy. Inquire today, start next week.
The place to get caught up, to speak out, to connect and be entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 3 o'clock. I'm John Merkier. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. It's Thursday, January 25th. Your top story, a visit from the president in northern Wisconsin.
I'm Greg Matzik. Northridge Mall in the hands of Milwaukee.
I'm Wyatt Barmar-Pooley, again in for Debbie Lazaga, and it feels like deja vu all over again. This is a very similar situation to my first report yesterday. We're going to see some brake lights, just a tap of the brake starting north of Hampton Road on 41 southbound. That'll take you past Capitol Drive. 43 southbound, slow all the way from Silver Spring down past Capitol. Pretty solid backups there. And 94 westbound is slow as you go into the Menominee Valley and all the way through the Stadium interchange. I'm Wyatt Barmar-Pooley with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Dense fog advisory in effect for Kenosha, Racine, Ozaukee, Sheboygan, Waukesha, and Milwaukee County until 9 o'clock tonight. Rain likely tonight with that fog, a low of 36 degrees. Tomorrow, foggy, soggy, a high of 41 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the president making a stop in Superior, Wisconsin today.
Hello, Wisconsin.
President Joe Biden speaking at a brewery at the base of the Blatnick Bridge, a route he calls critical to the U.S. economy.
Every year, 950,000 trucks use the bridge to carry 3.4 billion tons of goods.
The bridge was slated to be decommissioned in 2030, but $1 billion in federal funding will see it replaced. President Biden touting the upgrades.
Less traffic, fewer car accidents, faster commutes to your jobs and schools. Goods are going to get shipped quicker.
Wyatt Barmar-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Well, the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office has identified the woman shot and killed in a suspected murder-suicide. Police are investigating the death of Shelley Kosick. That happened shortly before 9 last night near South 65th Street in Ohio. Kosick was pronounced dead at the scene. A 42-year-old Milwaukee man was taken into custody and conveyed to a local hospital and treated for a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He is in critical condition.
The city of Milwaukee gaining court approval for ownership of Northridge Mall today.
During media availability, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson expressing confidence that this latest key moment in the Northridge Mall saga will guarantee they can move forward with demolition.
My understanding is that we're in the clear. The city now has ownership of the former mall and can move forward with this.
The mayor wouldn't comment on any proposed ideas for what to do with the property, but said while the demolition process is carried out, security personnel will be on site 24/7. At City Hall in downtown Milwaukee, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
U.S. Black Spruce will have 45 days to appeal the ruling.
Well, shakeup for Cudahy Schools. Superintendent Tina Owen Moore is resigning effective this June. Owen Moore, who has been superintendent for 4 years, telling the Cudahy School Board during its meeting on Monday. Journal Sentinel reporting that Owen Moore cited political divisions on the board in a resignation letter, saying she felt that preconceived ideas about who she was personally hampered her tenure as superintendent.
Chicago is a dominant force in the economy of the Midwest, but senior advisor of the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce, Tim Sheehy, tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News it helps Milwaukee.
The advantage we have with Chicago is you can locate close to it, get some advantage from that labor pool, but still be an attractive place to do. And to add to that, Haribo just announced that they're adding another 477,000 square feet to store the production of gummy bears.
The Milwaukee Business Journal reports Haribo will move into that warehouse by the end of the summer.
Well, The Athletic is reporting that the Bucks have reached an agreement with Doc Rivers to become the team's next head coach. It's a multi-year deal that'll make Rivers the head coach of the Bucks through the 26-27 season. The Bucks take on the Cavaliers Friday night in Milwaukee. And Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, and Dak Prescott, finalists for the Associated Press 2023 NFL Most Valuable Player Award.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:04.
This report is sponsored by Creative Planning. Give your wealth a second look. CreativePlanning.com.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first. And then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Why settle for just the job when you could have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee new car dealer members have service, technician, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam new car dealer.
For current great paying job opportunities, visit adam.jobs. That's ADAMM.jobs.
In this seller's market, even homeowners are trying to sell their own home. But more times than not, it doesn't work out like they'd hoped. And while homes like theirs are selling, and selling fast for over asking prices, their homes aren't. So what's your next best strategy? Well, if you're looking to relieve yourself of the stress of selling your own home and still get top dollar while getting the full service benefits that an experienced realtor can give you, then look no further. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where 3.5 to 3.9% commission assures that you pay less for full service. Only 11% of those trying to sell their own homes actually succeed. And of those that do sell their own home, they sell on average for 26% less than agented properties. This often negates the savings they were hoping to get by doing it on their own. So why do it on your own when you have an experienced realtor that will give you full service at only 3.5 to 3.9% commission? Don't let your home sit while others are selling faster and at potentially better than asking prices. Call Benefit Realty for a highly experienced agent, and you'll pay less for full service.
The NBA app is everyone's app. Every fan of every team.
Oh, my goodness.
Everyone who follows LeBron, Tatum, and Embiid in the app. Every warrior who's ready to go to battle over three-point percentages. Every streetwear king who's here for the tunnel fits. Every young buck, nugget, and grizzly who wants to take a peek behind the scenes of the league. And everyone else on this floating basketball we call Earth. Download the NBA app today. Available in the Google Play, Apple app, and Android stores.
It's time to make the call. It's time to get that lasting relief you deserve from that awful joint pain in 2024. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik for QC Kinetics. Hey, don't go another year compromising because of that awful pain in your knees or your shoulder. Give a call to QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative, non-surgical pain relief. Now, the best part is your body has what it needs to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue. That means no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. QC Kinetics can make it happen. Hundreds of board-certified QC Kinetics providers have treated tens of thousands of satisfied patients all over America. People with back pain, with hip pain, any pain associated with arthritis or an injury. And it's not a Band-Aid fix. This is revolutionary. It's treatment that can get you moving again and get your life back. Take the first step now. Give a call to QC Kinetics. A free consultation awaits. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
Happy Thursday. Hope you're doing well. We got a lot of stuff on the show today. Sophia Minnert's with us. Sherry Tussler is with us. Sean Ryan from the Business Journal. You hear from Ben Bruss, Congressman Mike Gallagher, Charles Benson. Whoa, we got a lot. But right off the top, there's several things that we are tracking today.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
All right, Greg, where do we start?
Well, a big development for a development that's been shut down for about 20 years, Northridge, now in the hands of the city of Milwaukee. Demolition could begin as early as this spring.
That's right. So the city given ownership of the shuttered mall site today by a judge. Adam Roberts spoke to Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson about the situation, and is there the possibility that there could be further legal action to once again delay this from U.S. Black Spruce?
My understanding is that we're in the clear. The city now has ownership of the former mall and can move forward with this.
Are you confident Black Spruce has no real legal recourse for this other than the 45-day appeal period?
That's my understanding.
We've talked a lot about how fires were set out there. People were squatting out there. There was public safety issues. Firefighters putting themselves in danger. The mayor says Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky must be happy to hear today's news.
I know the fire chief is really excited to see this day come and for there to be some additional security at the site and for it not to be a site that puts his members in danger.
So how will the property be secured before demolition begins?
Starting today, we'll secure the property. This includes 24/7 personnel at the site, full fencing around the perimeter of the site as well, and boarding up at the site too.
So now one of the big questions is what will happen on the site? What does future development look like? Alderwoman Larissa Taylor.
What I'd like to see there is something that's going to be really beneficial for the whole city. And I've said that from day one. I really would like to see something that's going to bring the community together.
So we will see. Black Spruce had no comment. Black Spruce was not even at the hearing today when ownership was given over to the city of Milwaukee. Sean Ryan from the Milwaukee Business Journal broke this story. He has additional detail and will join us 1 hour from now at 4:10. All right, what's next?
Remember those stories we did in November about deer hunting harvest and the season, like the numbers being down? They're down about 18%. Turns out another wild game hunted in Wisconsin, oftentimes hunted. Those numbers also down this year.
Yeah, bear numbers are down big time. 3,000 bears were harvested this year, 3,005 black bears. That's a 27% drop. Big time. So DNR officials believe there are less bear in the state. So they're actually going to issue fewer licenses next year. So if you want to hunt a bear, fewer licenses are going to be issued. They'll offer 11,500 bear licenses. That is down 10% for what was offered last year. So how do they know if there are less bears in the state? I always wonder this. How do they track the actual numbers of bears and wolf and all this stuff? How do they know? They say there are several indicators of a decreasing bear population. In 2023, U.S. Department of Agriculture Wildlife Services personnel trapped and relocated 261 bears in Wisconsin because of complaints. They were in people's garbage. They were interfering with farming. So they moved 261 bears this past year. That's down from 580 that they had to move in 2022. They say that's an indicator there's probably less bear activity. One more indicator. 53% of bear hunters statewide saw a bear while hunting last year. 53% saw a bear. 65% said they saw a bear in 2022. So the DNR says there are less bears. So we need to be careful that we don't eradicate the population. How many bears do you think there are in the state of Wisconsin right now?
Oh, geez, I have no idea. I'll say if 3,000 were killed, I'll say 6,248.
That means they would have killed half the bears. That'd be terrible.
Is that bad? Is there more? Is there
24,000 bears statewide.
So that's a lot more than I would have thought.
But they don't really know for sure. But
when
they
they hibernate, it's hard to calculate the total.
It is, because they're sleeping, like right now. All right, what's next?
All right, there's fashionably late, and then there's Madonna late. The latest celebrity to be sued for not being forthright with the information on her tickets.
Yeah, this is not good. So she started her tour in North America at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. And she did 3 shows. Each show, the ticket said the show started at 8:30, and each show started after 10:30. Okay, 2-hour delay. This happens a lot at different concerts. I've been to concerts that are almost 2 hours late. Well, a lawsuit's been filed by several people. It's a class action lawsuit saying that because Madonna started so late and the concert didn't end till 1 in the morning, there was limited public transportation to get home, limited ride sharing. The ride sharing was more expensive, and private transportation needed to be used. Not to mention that, oh my gosh, people had to get up and go to work the next day, and that hurt because they're out with Madonna so late. So they say false advertising, and they have hired attorneys. And Madonna, along with promoter Live Nation, are being sued because the concert started so late. Unspecified damages are being asked for. They say the jury can decide that at trial.
I did not do enough research on this. I'm trying to figure out, because sometimes it says 8:30 on the ticket, and then there's an opening act, maybe a second opening act, and then you get to the main stage. But I'm guessing this was just a flat 2-hour wait for people until Madonna took the stage. That's my guess. Otherwise, you kind of know how it works, right?
Yes, it was. They sat for 2 hours before any musician came out on the stage.
Yeah, I think I'd be a little annoyed by that.
Yeah, they were a little ticked off. Madonna, by the way, says, her people say, we intend to vigorously defend this case. We did nothing wrong.
Okay.
You were 2 hours late, but I don't know if it's worth a lawsuit. It is 3:14 at WTMJ. Sophia Minert up next. Saturday at noon for Experience Wisconsin. We'll check in with communities across the state for the best and brightest spots in Wisconsin. This week, pretty exciting show. We are joined by the good folks from Hayward Lakes.
Winter has thrown us a bit of a curveball this year, and however, there's still a ton of options to get outside and enjoy all the recreation in the Hayward Lakes area.
And hey, how about heading south when you head for a vacation in Wisconsin? We'll check in to Lake Geneva. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturday at noon right here on 620 WTMJ. Hey, John Mercure here for Town Bank. Town Bank is the real deal. They've got the best banking solutions. They've got the best customer service. I know. I've been a Town Bank customer for a very long time, long before I started reading these ads, because they just have the best stuff going. My Town Bank's in Menominee Falls. I got Matt and Dan and Big Tony. They're the guys in the bank. The good news is there's a Matt, a Dan, and a Big Tony, although maybe a little more handsome, in other Town Bank locations. They're going to take great care of you. Do your checking at Town Bank. Total Access checking is what I have. Free ATMs nationwide when I travel. That sure is convenient. It's Town Bank. Best online customer service. Even if you bank online, bill pay. Use the app. I do that. Customer service, you're going to need it once in a while, and Town Bank has got you covered. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results. Start earning more from your savings, your CDs. Start banking with Town Bank. Go to townbank.us/locknewrates to check out their CD rates, or visit a Town Bank branch near you. Bank differently with Town Bank. Member FDIC.
Earn now, spend later during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Rewards Members Dollar Days. Now through the end of January, Rewards members earn $10 in Blaine's Bucks for every $100 spent in store to redeem just like cash, February 8th through the 21st. Start earning on 20-pound bags of Blaine's brand Easy Scoop Cat Litter, 2 for $14. Select Best Air Furnace Filters, only $8.99. Plus, Chick Days are coming. Order yours in-store or online. Earn Blaine's Bucks now to spend later during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Rewards Members Dollar Days.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik for Clean Living Environments. Have you recognized the work that Clean Living Environments does? If you have, if you've used them, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. You want to talk about a game changer. Not only do they clean our air ducts, right? They use their agitation system and suction system to clean out our air ducts after 7 years of being in our house, and we needed it. No more wacky particles flying around our house. But Clean Living Environments also sealed our ductwork. Now we're going to get more life out of our furnace. The air is more concentrated. It's much more vigorous coming into the vents and into the areas of the house we want it. Why? Because they took away and greatly reduced the leakage. Your system has leakage. It just does. Ours was about 28%. Well, now we're at about 4%. Amazing work done by Clean Living Environments. I can't wait for our heating bill to go down. That's what they're going to do for you. Check out Clean Living Environments. Air duct sealing is amazing. Air duct cleaning, you probably need it. Most people do. They also have humidifier systems that they can attach to your existing system. Really a game changer. Clean Living Environments. Find them online at cleanlivingenvironments.com.
Traffic and weather. Debbie is off today, but Wyatt is in. How's that ride rolling, Wyatt?
Hey, you got it, John. You know who I am this time.
I do.
All right. Well, I got some good news for you. It's improving on 94 westbound. It's much better through the stadium. Still a tap of the brakes, but not too bad. It's not getting any better, though, on 43 southbound. Those delays now stretching from Silver Spring through Hampton and down past Capitol before it lightens up. 43 southbound looks like it's getting a little better, actually. You're still going to have a lot of brake lights between Silver Spring and Hampton, but then it starts to lighten up a little bit before a slowdown around Capitol, but then as you get close to downtown, it'll be a smooth ride. Be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Wyatt Barmar-Pooley with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. A dense fog advisory is in effect for all of southeast Wisconsin. Goes until 9 o'clock tonight. Rain is also likely tonight, a low of 36 degrees. Tomorrow, foggy, a high of 41. Saturday, cloudy, a high of 41. Sunday, cloudy, 39. Monday, cloudy, 38. A lot of snow melt going on. Right now, it's 38 degrees. Sophia Minert is the Brewers reporter and broadcast and digital features content director. She is all over the place, including most recently in the Dominican Republic, and she is with us this afternoon. Sophia!
Sophia,
how are
there
you?
she is. Hello.
Hi, guys. It's great to be on with you. Thank you for having me.
Sophia, you weren't one of those who sued Madonna for showing up late at a concert in New York the other day, were you? That wasn't you?
That was not me.
Okay.
How could you sue Madonna?
Right.
That's what I'm saying here.
The material
2
girl.
hours late. Darn right
Yeah.
she is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, show some respect for Madonna. Whatever she was doing, I'm sure was very important.
I was really interested, Sophia, to read your stuff about the Brewers Dominican Academy. And I wanted to ask you about the process to do this. There were big-time people down there. You were down there. This seems like it was a long process. It looks beautiful. Why is this a big deal?
Well, it is a big deal. I think for fans, some of them may not even be aware that the team, and actually every team in Major League Baseball has a presence in the Dominican Republic. It is just sort of the hub of international player development. And so I think for fans, they're probably more familiar with, American Family Field of Phoenix in Maryvale, where they do spring training and they have rookie ball and instructional league and fall league, things like that. And I think that's where people associate, getting to meet the players and starting spring training, starting the season. That's like where player development starts. But they have a very similar operation in the Dominican. And so this was a long time coming for them. Their previous facility, which I actually visited 10 years ago, which is hard to believe. And we did a series of shows on that called Baseball in the Dominican Republic. And we talked about kind of the academy and the role it has in player development on the international side. Internationally, players are able to sign a professional contract as young as 16 years old. So we actually just passed the International Signing Day, which is January 15th. And so the Brewers were able to sign 35 new international players on that day, and then they are brought into the system. A lot of them will go to the academy, which is just outside of Santo Domingo, which is the capital city in the DR. And that is where they start. And the goal for them is to start their development process. They live at the academy, so the new facility that they built can accommodate up to 100 players. They've got dorm rooms, a full kitchen, they get nutrition there. They take classes, and they have education classes. There's also, classes in English. They're obviously doing a lot of baseball training, so they've got all the resources there for that. It is basically it's a full-blown academy. They're living there during the week. The staff is there during the week with them, and the goal for them is to move out of the DR and get to Arizona and work your way up the minor league system.
So this is for players already in the Brewers organization, correct, Sophia? This is not really used for scouting. It's not necessarily for existing players at the major league level who might be going home, though I guess it could be open to them. But really it's more for the development of players signed into the Brewers system?
Yeah, I think that is the primary function, Greg. It is primarily for the players who have already signed with the organization, like I just said, with the signing day. It can be players that maybe need an additional year of development. But, you think about a major league player like Freddie Peralta or Abner Uribe, guys who live in the Dominican in the off season, they can travel to the academy, and that basically operates like a training center for them. And that's the old academy is where Freddie Peralta essentially developed his slider before the 2020 season. He was there working with Carlos Villanueva and some of the staff there, and he would make his weekly trip over to the academy. So it can be a place for that. It can be a place where they can hold tryouts for the incoming international class. That process is already underway. But it is primarily for the prospects who are there who are recently signed and, again, are hoping to make their way to Arizona, to the minor leagues, and then obviously the end game being to come to Milwaukee as a major leaguer.
Sophia Minard is with us on WTMJ. Sophia, I wanted to ask you about Marquette. You're a proud Marquette alum. What do you think about this basketball team?
It's been fun, I think they had a little bit of a little spell of adversity there with a very brief 2-game losing streak. But when you have the expectations that Marquette has, coming into this season, they were 2 tough losses. And then obviously you lose Sean Jones to the ACL injury, which, was a huge bummer for the team and affects their depth as they continue to play without Chase Ross. So I've really enjoyed getting to know Coach Smart, having done the show with him of Inside Marquette Basketball for the last 3 seasons now. So he is great to talk to. He's really thoughtful. He's very passionate. I love just how he pulls different analogies that you're not expecting. I just love how he talks about his players and how he talks about his team. I think you spend about 30 seconds around him and you know how much he cares and just how deeply invested he is. So I feel like Coach Smart has been just an absolutely perfect fit for Marquette and for the program.
Better to stumble in December than stumble in March, right? Might as well get it out of the way.
I mean, everyone stumbles, right? I don't think anyone was expecting this team to go undefeated despite, all the expectations and the high rankings that they've had. And they had a great showing in the Maui Invitational, knocking off Kansas and then a great game against Purdue in the final. But look, the Big East is tough. We know that. And I think it's been fun to watch them, handle those expectations. Like they know that they're getting every team's best shot, every night. So I think hopefully there's still a lot of good basketball ahead of them.
Sophia Minard, you can check her out on Bally Sports. She covers the Brewers. She covers a lot of different sports things and the broadcast and digital features content director. It's always fun when we have you on the show. Thank you, Sophia.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You too, Sophia. Sophia also not among those to sue Madonna for showing up 2 hours late at her shows at the Barclays
We
Center.
have confirmed that.
Yes,
that is
she was
confirmed.
very honest about that.
That's right. It is 3:26 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green. The Dow surged at the end of the day, actually. The Dow was up 242 points to close at 38,049. The S&P was up 26 points. It's sitting at 48.94. And the NASDAQ was up 29 points to rest at 15,510. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Market volatility, global issues. We hear about inflation easing, but it's still a real issue. More than a few headwinds this year. That's probably why Americans like you feel uncertain about their financial future. Just 59% of affluent Americans felt secure last year, and that's down from the year before. Boomers, not much room for error. Gen X might need more than a 401k. And for millennial families with big dreams, it's time to get real about saving and investing. Talk to Annex Wealth Management. Build security with a partner on your side for unbiased advice. Our goal is a plan that prepares you to maintain your desired lifestyle throughout retirement. Investments are a start, but you may need more. That's why Annex delivers tax and estate planning. There's an Annex plan personalized for you. Annex Comprehensive Wealth fits most individuals and families, but if you've got high net worth with complex needs, Annex Private Client is your solution. Just starting out? Annex Ignite is a great choice. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Replacement windows and doors, where do you start? I'll tell you where. It's Siding Unlimited, the best installation contractor in the state and even in the country. Let's start there, right? How dare I claim that Siding Unlimited is the best in the country? Well, how about this? Pella, America's best manufacturer of windows and doors, said it loud and clear, naming Siding Unlimited their Platinum Elite Contractor of the Year. 3 years in a row. That's a big title and a big deal. It means the best of the best. Right here, Siding Unlimited, local, family-owned, honest, and reliable. They've done a number of projects for us over the years. They'll do the same for you with the same great service and expertise. Where do you start? Siding Unlimited. You want windows? Think siding. That's right, Siding Unlimited. Wisconsin's best. America's best. SidingUnlimited.com.
This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. The Energy Star ratings for windows are getting a lot tougher to get the tax credits you're going to want to take advantage of. Fortunately, we still have options that will qualify you for those tax credits. Now I can sit here and talk benefits of this product or what's great about that product. So can everybody else. But what a lot of operations can't do is with complete confidence stand behind the crew that's going to be on that next job. Talk is cheap, I get it. But our people are exceptional. How do I know? Because me and Vito handpick every single person that makes our team. Some make the cut, a lot don't. And that's why you can be confident that the windows we install for you will be top quality, installed right, and that you're going to get great service. And that's never failed us. So for your home's new windows, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores, Highway 100 and Layton Avenue, 23rd and Lincoln. Great stores, great cause, and unbelievable bargains. You're going to love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm Jessica Gatso. Your top story, a presidential visit in Superior, Wisconsin.
I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, and we're still keeping an eye on those 3 slowdowns. 43 southbound not getting any better. Those delays still consistent between Silver Spring and down past Capitol all the way to Keefe. We're also seeing a little bit of a slowdown on 43 southbound right as you head into the Marquette interchange. 43 northbound as well is starting to get slow right as you approach Locust. 94 westbound still slow consistently from the Menominee Valley all the way through the Stadium interchange. Eastbound starting to see a tap of the brakes as you head up to the Stadium as well. And 41 southbound still slow, but again, it's just right around Hampton that you're seeing those brake lights. Once you get past Hampton, it should be smooth going. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Very foggy outside today. We've got a dense fog advisory in effect for Kenosha, Racine, Ozaukee, Sheboygan, Waukesha, and Milwaukee County until 9 p.m. Tonight, rain is also likely, a low of 36 degrees. On Friday, still foggy and a good chance for showers, a high of 41. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center. The president making a stop in Superior, Wisconsin today, announcing $1 billion in federal funding to replace the Blatnick Bridge between Minnesota and Wisconsin.
The president returning to Superior nearly 2 years after his last visit, shortly after the signing of the bipartisan infrastructure law. Since then,
we've already invested $6.1 billion in Wisconsin.
And now $1 billion more for repairing the Blatnick Bridge. President Biden says the issue was never too far from mind.
We knew this bridge needed a lot of work. Tammy didn't let me forget that either.
The president thanking Senator Tammy Baldwin and saying,
credit your governors, and I mean it sincerely, and your state legislators for coming up with the matching money to invest in this bridge. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gotten done.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Assembly Republicans have voted this afternoon to pass a bill banning abortions after 14 weeks of pregnancy. Governor Tony Evers is expected to veto it. The legislation would ban abortions 14 weeks after, quote, probable fertilization, with an exceptions for situations in which the mother's life or health would be endangered without the procedure. The bill would reduce the time frame for legal abortions in Wisconsin by 6 weeks. The bill passed with a 53-46 vote and heads to the Republican-led Senate next. The city of Milwaukee now controlling the future of the Northridge Mall site after a judge's ruling granted the city full ownership of the property on the city's northwest side.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson seeming confident that the ruling issued by the judge today will not allow U.S. Black Spruce any legal recourse.
My understanding is that we're in the clear. The city now has ownership.
While the mayor would not comment on the future of the site, 9th District Alderwoman Larissa Taylor offered her thoughts.
What I'd like to see there is something that's going to be really beneficial for the whole city, and I've said that from day one. I really would like to see something that's going to bring the community together.
At City Hall in downtown Milwaukee, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Northwestern Mutual, the largest private company in Milwaukee, today announced the retirement of CEO John Schlifsky. Our partners at the Milwaukee Business Journal report Schlifsky will retire at the end of 2024. Northwestern Mutual named Tim Gerrand as the next top executive. He is currently executive vice president. Northwestern Mutual is a Fortune 500 company with more than 7,000 employees in the Milwaukee area. High school juniors attending Milwaukee Public Schools can now apply to Milwaukee's 2 largest colleges for free. Milwaukee Direct Admit is a new initiative by the M-Cubed Partnership, providing a streamlined online application to Milwaukee Area Technical College, University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, or both schools. It doesn't require any fees or additional paperwork like essays or letters of recommendation. Students who apply are guaranteed acceptance to at least one of the schools they select. M-Cubed is a collaboration among MPS, MATC, and UWM, applications being accepted until June 14th. Opening statements today in the trial of the mother of the Michigan High School shooter in 2021. ABC's Derek Dennis reports.
2 very different opening statements in the trial of the mother of the Michigan High School shooter. Prosecutor Mark Keese telling jurors exactly what the case is about.
It's about Jennifer Crumbley's willful disregard of the danger that she knew of.
He claims Crumbley knew her son Ethan had access to a gun she and her husband are accused of buying him before the 2021 shooting at Oxford High School that left 4 students dead. But Crumbley's defense lawyer Shannon Smith says Ethan carried out the killings, not his mother.
He did something she could have never anticipated or fathomed or predicted.
Derek Dennis, ABC News.
The Athletic is reporting the Bucks and coach Doc Rivers have agreed to a multi-year deal that will make Rivers the coach of the Bucks through the 2026-27 season. The Bucks host the Cavaliers Friday night. Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, and Dak Prescott are finalists for the Associated Press 2023 NFL Most Valuable Player Award. I'm Jessica Gatso, Siding Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 3:35.
This report is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
It's the last resort that comes with a grueling and painful recovery. And from what I've been told, it never really feels quite natural. A total knee replacement may make the pain you're living with eventually go away, but it opens up a Pandora's box of other possible issues. And that's why surgeons who really do care will tell you that it's a last resort. There are other surgeons who cry, "Replace! Replace!" But the physicians you'll find at Rejuvenix are primarily concerned with relief. And you may find out that the relief we give you helps so much so that you may not need to get that total knee replacement. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenix Arthritis Clinics. Our FDA-approved pain treatments aid inflammation and lubricate your joints. And in most cases, insurance has been shown to cover the costs. At Rejuvenix, we can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why, through the end of February, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 13 years, Adam has provided more than 2.4 million meals to people in southeastern Wisconsin. And now, the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve's Committee for Universal Windows Direct. If you've been cold in your own house, do not suffer through one more winter in a cold and drafty home. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Schedule your free in-home estimate today, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free, plus a free upgrade to triple pane glass. And they'll double your energy tax credit. Tell them I told you to call and get an additional $250 off your project. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to universalwindowsdirect.com, and you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Will Nikki Haley hang on? How long does she stay in the race? Brittany Shepard, ABC News politics reporter, is with us from Washington. Brittany, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good. So I thought an interesting development today was that Donald Trump is aggressively targeting Nikki Haley's donor base, saying anybody who supports Nikki Haley, you know what, you're in trouble with me and you'll be permanently barred from my campaign. Then Nikki Haley says, you know what, I'm going to sell T-shirts that say permanently banned, and I'm in to stay. How do you assess what's happened with the back and forth?
Well, she's welcoming that incoming. You're right. Anyone who chips into her campaign from $5 up is going to get that barred permanently T-shirt answering that remark from Donald Trump, that threat, if you will, saying that anyone who supports her will be barred from MAGA camp. Unclear what that means in practice, but if you're a Republican who wants to be in the new establishment in D.C. and Florida and New York, you might hold your pocketbook close. I mean, Trump's trying to hit her where it hurts, and that's donors, because unfortunately it costs money to be president, to run TV ads, radio ads, digital spots, to pay the staffers who day and night are actually door knocking to try to get moderates and independents and maybe some disenfranchised Democrats on Nikki Haley's side. It costs dollars and pennies to keep that fungible. And we're seeing some donors move. We saw billionaire Reid Hoffman, he's actually a Democrat mega donor who co-founded LinkedIn, pausing all of his contributions to Haley's campaign. He's one of those Democrats who doesn't want Trump to be the nominee by any estimation, so he'll do anything in order to make that happen, including giving money to Nikki Haley. He typically supported Democrats. He supports Biden, but this time around gave $250,000 to a pro-Haley super PAC just last year. And one of his advisors told us at ABC that Hoffman will not make one more penny of investment until he sees a path forward for Nikki Haley to win the nomination. And if there is no path forward math-wise, then the money might dry up. So Trump knows that he needs to hit Nikki Haley where it hurts, and where it hurts is the pocketbook.
The timing is so interesting here, Brittany. I mean, it feels like a game of poker where the stakes are being raised and raised and raised, and you've stayed in it so long, you've got to see the hand out. Others have folded. They have bailed out of this race, and now it's just a two-person race. But will it be enough to really make a dent? Can she really challenge Donald Trump?
I think it depends who shows out for her in South Carolina. Her campaign made a big bet in New Hampshire, and I just got back from Manchester and many other cities in New Hampshire where she was targeting the kind of left-leaning but not super progressive towns that might think that she is their only hope, that democracy is on the line, to steal a line from the Biden campaign. And she put so much money in there. She sent Governor Chris Sununu crisscrossing his own state for weeks and weeks and months, and the electorate in New Hampshire is essentially what she believed to be a quintessential Nikki Haley voter. Overeducated, 2 degrees, 3 degrees. The median income for a household in New Hampshire, I think, is like $100,000. That's unheard of when you go to poor, struggling states across the country that tend to also vote for Donald Trump in the last 2 elections, right? And she was unable to coalesce that strong coalition in numbers to have her beat Trump in New Hampshire. So she has to find those voters in South Carolina. And to that point, they exist. A lot of folks from New York and the tri-state area, they leave. They like the tax policy better in South Carolina, who are moderate Democrats, moderate Republicans, and would probably be turned off by Donald Trump and into Nikki Haley. And I know journalists are bad at math, but running for president is also a math game, right? And it's a delegate thing, right? She didn't get the delegates she wanted in Iowa. That was clear. She came in third. She didn't get delegates that she thought she could get to have an embarrassing loss for Trump in New Hampshire. If she cannot get those delegates in South Carolina, where she is from, a state which she has served 2 terms for governor, it's like Ron DeSantis going back to Florida and losing it and only getting 5%. Like, that would be super embarrassing for him, which is why one of the reasons why he dropped out, by the way, right, to not be delivered an embarrassment in his home state come Super Tuesday.
ABC's Brittany Shepard. Good perspective, Brittany. Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I think Brittany raises an interesting question. I think that's why there's a good chance Nikki Haley drops out in the next couple of weeks. If the money starts to dry up and she looks like she is going to get smashed in South Carolina, where she was the governor and is the favorite daughter, and she's going to get destroyed there, I don't think she sticks around. And if she wants to be the alternative in case something crazy happens at the convention or in case Trump ends up behind bars and people are looking for an alternative, it doesn't help her to have stayed in the race if she gets stomped in South Carolina. She could still be a viable candidate if she gets out before she gets destroyed in South Carolina. It'll be really interesting. There's been almost no polling in South Carolina to see what things look like as the polling takes place today, a week from today, 2 weeks from today.
My thought was she's hanging in because South Carolina is her home state and maybe thought it could have been a bit of a coronation. And now you wonder if it's starting to flip a little bit and maybe staying in wasn't the best move. But she's leaning into it. There's no doubt about that. She's definitely leaning into it.
More presidential politic discussion with Charles Benson, who joins us coming up at 5:15. Talk about the president being in our state today. Sherry Tussler, the longtime CEO of the Hunger Task Force, is with us in the studio up next.
Start planning for your retirement today so you enjoy retirement tomorrow. Saturday mornings at 11 and Sunday mornings at 7, where Tony Drake and his Education First team discuss retirement trends, taxes, inflation, and Social Security benefits to help you achieve a more secure financial future.
Join us this week as we talk about the coming presidential election and what the political turmoil means for your retirement.
Retirement Ready with Tony Drake on WTMJ.
Hey, have you downloaded the Underdog Fantasy app yet or signed up online at UnderdogFantasy.com? If you haven't, now's a great time to do it. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik inviting you to play along with me at Underdog Fantasy. This is the real deal, and it's legal in Wisconsin. A ton of fun to play as well. And if you sign up today, use the promo code WTMJ. Underdog Fantasy is going to double your deposit up to $100. Put in $10, they'll add 10. Put in 20, they'll add 20. Put in 100, they will double your deposit. That's it at UnderdogFantasy.com or the Underdog Fantasy app. Underdog Fantasy is a pick'em game. So you pick between 2 to 5 players in a variety of sports. You can cross sports if you'd like, or focus just on the NBA, whatever you'd like. You can customize your gameplay. Invite friends to do your own little fantasy games on the side with their own little fantasy draft. It's super simple, a ton of fun, and a great time. Check it out. Underdog Fantasy, promo code WTMJ. They'll double your deposit up to $100. Easy and fast. It's Underdog Fantasy.
Dan, what do you think are the top 3 reasons people buy from us at Inspired Closets?
Katie, that's easy. Our 3D design software, 4 ironclad guarantees, and our lifetime warranty.
Plus, we're honest and transparent in our pricing. We don't over-design. And we're a local family-owned business.
Clients need to know that we are a different closet company. We are designed completely around them.
And we're a wife and husband team.
Visit us at inspiredclosetsmke.com.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community, and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Traffic is sponsored by Richlands Tire and Service Center.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
Traffic and weather. Debbie's off today. Wyatt's in. Good afternoon, Wyatt.
Hey, John. We're got no accidents right now. That's good, but we are starting to see some slowdowns creep up. 43 southbound is now slow coming into the Marquette, south of North Avenue as you come into downtown. We're also seeing those delays we usually see in the construction zone between Silver Spring and Keefe. 43 northbound also starting to be slow as you come up north out of the Marquette all the way past Locust. 94 westbound is still slow, steady through the Menominee Valley through the Stadium Interchange. 94 eastbound as well, starting to see a tap of the brakes as you head from the zoo to the stadium too. And those delays still mostly on 41 southbound, mostly around Hampton. That's where you're going to see the heaviest traffic. But once you get south of that, it should be a smooth ride past Capitol. I'm Wyatt Barmar-Pooley with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, dense fog advisory until 9 o'clock for all of southeast Wisconsin. Going to be a little rainy tonight, too. It's actually starting to move in from Illinois. Low of 36 degrees. Tomorrow, foggy, rainy, a high of 41. Saturday, more snow melt, cloudy, a high of 41. Sunday, cloudy, 39. Monday, more cloud cover, a high of 38 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it's cloudy and 37. This is a big move. Sherry Tussler, the longtime CEO of the Hunger Task Force, after more than 25 years, is moving on to the next thing. She is retiring, and Sherry is with us live in the studio. Sherry, thank you so much for being here.
Glad to be here.
Why now? Why after all this time? You've done so many things, and you decided this is it for now.
Well, I was talking about it before the pandemic, but the pandemic happened and we were all essential, so there was no taking a break then. But I'll be turning 65 soon, so why not?
I wanted to ask you about the pandemic because you're right, everything changed. People who are going to change careers didn't, people who are going to retire didn't. And then when you do what you did and people really needed your help, essential really did apply to the work that you guys do. How did the pandemic change your timeline and change what you do as an organization?
Well, it brought us together. It made us stretch quite a bit. We ended up serving the entire state of Wisconsin and leveraging resources from the federal government and getting them out to groups that are in need in rural, remote, indigenous areas, and then urban areas like Milwaukee. It pushed us, but I think it made us grow, and I feel good about what I did during that time.
When you reflect back on all the years, from day one to where you are today, what sort of growth, what sort of embracing from the community have you felt over that time? How has it all grown since you've been there?
Well, I remember when I just thought it was just like another nonprofit. And one day I was invited to a meeting at Johnson Controls, and they were honoring all of these really important places like the museum and the zoo and Discovery World. And I was like, why is Hunger Task Force here? And they said we were an institution. And I was like, wow. We made it. We have arrived. We are indeed an institution. And I challenge people when they think about it to imagine what Milwaukee would be like without Hunger Task Force. The food pantries wouldn't have the supplies of food that they need. People in emergency situations wouldn't get their help. There would be a lot less good management around how people access emergency food in particular.
Sherry Tussler is the leader of the Hunger Task Force, and she is with us. So we talk, and deservedly so, a lot about things that are rough in our community, reckless driving, gun violence. I think we don't talk enough about hunger insecurity, which is just as devastating if you're a family that suffers for it. Can you paint the picture about how real the problem is in our community?
Sure. 1 in 4 kids is waking up in a house with no food. They're relying on the Milwaukee Public Schools for school breakfast. During the summer months, lots and lots of kids, only 17% of the kids that get that free meal are going to get a summer meal. And so hunger becomes very real for children. There are more than 10,000 seniors that line up here in Milwaukee County to get something called the Stock Box, which is a federal program that the Hunger Task Force operates. It's very real because a lot of those foods are not something to get excited about. They're just federal commodity foods, but they're helping to make ends meet for people, and it makes a huge difference.
You rely on people like us, John and I, businesses. Who are some of the big folks that help you every day that maybe deserve a shout out that nobody knows?
Sure. I would say Harley-Davidson Motor Company has always been there for us. Their foundation has been great. Johnson Controls, Miller Coors, Aurora, Kohl's Department Stores, Anthem. I mean, there are really big companies out there that quietly give money to the Hunger Task Force so that we can buy truckloads of food, so we can operate our farm, so we can gas our trucks, so that we can run a food bank. And then there's just individuals. We just raised $2 million over the last 12 weeks from people who wrote checks for $10 and $25. And I want to give them a shout out because they are our fans. They make a difference, and they realize that they're helping another local family.
You know, I find myself thinking about you, Sherry. About 6 months ago, I was on an honor flight, and I was talking to a veteran who was a POW. And I asked him what the toughest part about being a POW was. And I thought he would tell me, I thought I might get shot at. I thought I might die. I thought I might not see my family. He told me that the toughest part about being a POW was that every day he was hungry. And when he was hungry, he couldn't think about anything else, and he couldn't do the things that he needed to do very easily because he was hungry. And that was at the foundation of all the rest of his fear. I think people, and I put myself in this category, who aren't hungry, can't have a real appreciation for how devastating that can be. And you guys see that and help to solve that every single day.
Yeah, food is a basic need. And you're right. When people are hungry, they're not only fearful, they have headaches, they have stomach aches. Kids can't learn. We can't have them grow to be, a good workforce if we don't feed them well. Imagine being a senior and being, homebound, not being able to take the bus. Imagine what it's like to try to go to the grocery store using the bus and bring all that food home when you're an older person. Hunger is very real in Milwaukee, and it's still something we need to overcome, but I am thankful to the staff and the board of the Hunger Task Force for all the support that we've had all these years, and we will continue on.
Well, you're retiring, but something tells me you're going to remain connected somehow.
Well,
There's too many years, right? You've been involved for so much.
I'm retiring in June.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the summer off.
Okay, you're allowed.
And then I will return as Emeritus CEO.
Yeah, there you go. You see?
So I'll be in the
emeritus.
background. I'll help them out. Anything I get stuck on. But we have a really proven team at Hunger Task Force, and so many tenured people, and I think they'll be great. And maybe they'll just say, "Hey, old lady, you can go back home."
But you still get to be emeritus. That still goes on your business
That's
card.
fun.
You put it on your jacket. Like, that should never leave.
Oh, my God. My college gave me an honorary PhD. And I was like,
That's so cool.
Dr. Tussler.
That's so cool.
I told my children they had to call me Dr. Mom.
There you go. Love that.
A few years ago, Good Karma Brands, a bunch of us volunteered at the farm, the Hunger Task Force farm. That is such an amazing place, and people don't really know about it. Tell me about the good work that's done at the farm.
Sure, that was one of our innovations. When the Milwaukee County House of Correction work farm was supposed to close, we took it over. We hired farmers, and we grow about 26 different varieties of produce, both fruit and vegetables. And all of that food is grown by volunteers, along with our farmers, picked, harvested, taken directly to food pantries, absolutely free of charge, and people get fresh and healthy food. And I'm telling you, hungry people love fresh and healthy food.
That is so cool, because I think the misconception is they're happy to just give them something in a can. But if you can get fresh and healthy, what a difference that is.
Yeah, Hunger Task Force also adopted the USDA My Plate. So we only give foods that are good for you because we consider it to be a public health issue. If there are 30 or 40 or 50,000 people from Milwaukee who rely on a Hunger Task Force supported food pantry and all they're eating is canned goods, that's why our health insurance costs keep going up.
What's the big vacation you want to take? What's on the list?
My kid's in Portland. I want to go see her.
Oh, my gosh. That's a beautiful city.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. Well, we're glad you're going to still stay in the community and you're still going to be involved. And I want to thank you for the work you've done for so very long. You are one of the pillars of our community. You do so much good. You lead an organization that really makes a difference. Sherry Tussler is the Hunger Task Force CEO. Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you, John.
It is 3:56 at WTMJ. A couple of words for Griffin Ford in Waukesha. My favorite car that I've ever had is the Ford Explorer I'm driving right now. It's a great vehicle. It's not too big, but it does everything I need it to do. And I bought it at Griffin Ford in Waukesha, where they have got the best selection. Right now, 175 new vehicles in stock, ready to preview. You've heard that car dealerships don't yet have all their vehicles back. Not at Griffin. They are loaded and ready to go. They'll make the best use of your time and best bang for your buck. Choose from over 50 new Ford F-150s, F-250s, the F-350. They stock more F-Series than their competition. That's why they help more friends and family buy the F-Series. Shop their wide range at griffinford.com today. Check out popular and affordable SUVs like the Ford Escape and the Bronco Sport. It is Griffin Ford in Waukesha. 125 pre-owned truck, SUVs, and sedans on the lot now. And check out the service department. The ultimate New Year special. Griffin will inspect and rotate your tires, check your battery, complete multi-point inspection, check your heat, change your wiper blades and air filter for $179.95. Carfax, top-rated dealer award winner. Stop into Griffin Ford today.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
The next generation for the CEO at Northwestern Mutual as John Schlifsky steps down after 14 years. At year-end, Chief Distribution Officer Tim Garand ascends to the CEO position. Celebrities ride Harley-Davidsons in an online video unveiling the company's new models for 2024. American Pickers star Mike Wolfe rides a street glide on the West Coast, as does his girlfriend Letitia Klein. Aldi looks to expand its distribution center in Oak Creek by 50,000 square feet. Grocer says it needs more storage for perishable items. I'm Rich Kirchin with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Meet Alan, who was diagnosed with sleep apnea.
I was what they call a mouth breather.
and I would breathe at night with my mouth open.
And for about 8 years, Alan struggled with a CPAP machine. And then
I saw the Advent commercial, and I thought, well, what do you got to lose? This machine is miserable.
For most people, CPAP machines are miserable, but a simple breathing triangle solution from Advent can be life-changing.
And it really was, to me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. After having one of Advent's simple breathing triangle procedures, people are amazed at how freely and clearly they can breathe.
I'm happy with the procedure. I'm very glad I did it. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago. I could have avoided that machine I had to have laying next to the bed with the hose wrapped around my head.
Schedule your appointment at AdventKnows.com because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Is it time to give your home a new look?
Absolutely.
Get personal care from Adair. Adair Floors and Remodeling has a design team ready to help with all flooring and remodeling needs, including tub-to-shower conversions. Want to create your dream kitchen, including cabinets? How about the rec room? Adair Floors and Remodeling has been family-run in Franklin for over 65 years. For floors and all home remodeling needs, get personal care from Adair. Adair Floors and Remodeling, South 27th Street in Franklin, and online at adairfloors.com. Get a tax refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt now. No fee refund advance is offered to eligible clients. Application required. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com. Returning to Milwaukee, the world's greatest Pink Floyd experience, Brit Floyd, celebrating 30 years of the Division Bell. Friday and Saturday, April 5th and 6th at the Riverside Theater. Brit Floyd, the Pulse Tour. Tickets on sale now at papstheatergroup.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
The successful Fox and Hounds and Mineshaft restaurants are hiring friendly, people-oriented servers. You'll make real cash, full or part-time, and always busy. Inquire today, start next week.
Your locally owned hometown station gives you the news and what it means to you. Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. It's January 25th. Your top story, a $1 billion bridge project from the president.
I'm Greg Mansick. State Republican lawmakers advancing an abortion plan.
I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley in for Debbie Lazaga, and we're starting to see the fog become a factor, especially around Milwaukee here close to the lake. The fog is out. It is low. You can barely see anything on the cameras. With that, we're seeing slowdowns, especially on 43 close to downtown. Both southbound and northbound are at a crawl coming both out of and into the Marquette. Further north, we still got those delays between Silver Spring and Capitol on 43 southbound. 94 also slow both ways through the stadium, and those brake lights again affected by the fog. 41 southbound, however, not affected by the fog. It's a lot clearer up there, but we're still seeing delays from about Mill Road down past Hampton. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
A dense fog advisory in effect for most of southeast Wisconsin until 9 o'clock tonight. Foggy with rain likely, a low of 36 tonight. Tomorrow, foggy with showers, a high of 41 degrees. It's currently 37. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the president making a stop in Superior, Wisconsin today.
Hello, Wisconsin.
President Joe Biden speaking at a brewery at the base of the Blatnick Bridge, a route he calls critical to the U.S. economy.
Every year, 950,000 trucks use the bridge to carry 3.4 billion tons of goods.
The bridge was slated to be decommissioned in 2030, but $1 billion in federal funding will see it replaced. President Biden touting the upgrades.
Less traffic, fewer car accidents, faster commutes to your jobs and schools. Goods are going to get shipped quicker.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Assembly Republicans have voted this afternoon to pass a bill banning abortions after 14 weeks of pregnancy. Governor Tony Evers expected to veto it. The legislation would ban abortions 14 weeks after probable fertilization, with an exception for situations in which the mother's life or health would be endangered without the procedure. The bill would reduce the time frame for legal abortions in Wisconsin by 6 weeks. The bill passed with a 53-46 vote and heads to the Republican-led Senate next.
The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office has identified the woman shot and killed in a suspected murder, attempted suicide. Milwaukee police are investigating the death of Shelley Kosick. That happened shortly before 9 last night near South 65th Street and Ohio Avenue. Kosick was pronounced dead at the scene. A 42-year-old Milwaukee man was taken into custody and conveyed to a local hospital and treated for a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He is in critical condition.
The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office says hypothermia is probable in the death of 49-year-old Jolene Waldriff, who slipped on ice near the intersection of 76th and Congress. Her daughter, Kavina, says the community has been supporting she and her young sister, but tells TMJ4 News she feels her mother's death was preventable.
I just want to get to the bottom of everything. At the end of the day, I feel like it could have been prevented or she could have still been here.
A family friend saying Waldriff was found an hour and a half after her fall.
A shakeup for Cudahy Schools. Superintendent Tina Owen Moore is resigning effective this June. Owen Moore, who has been superintendent for 4 years, telling the Cudahy School Board during its meeting on Monday. The Journal-Sentinel reporting that Owen Moore cited political divisions on the board in her resignation letter, saying she felt that preconceived ideas about who she was personally hampered her tenure as superintendent.
Well, The Athletic is reporting the Bucks and Doc Rivers have agreed to a multi-year deal that'll make Rivers the head coach of the Bucks through the 26-27 season. Bucks take on the Cavaliers Friday night in Milwaukee, and Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, and Dak Prescott finalists for the NFL's MVP award.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:04.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Replacement windows and doors. Where do you start? Siding Unlimited is where. Why? Well, you know about Siding Unlimited's Contractor of the Year awards from Pella, right? But Siding Unlimited offers many other choices too. Wood, vinyl, fiberglass, traditional, contemporary. Siding Unlimited will work with your style and your budget. And whatever choices you make, be assured that Wisconsin's climate extremes will stay out there to look at, not inside to bother you. So, start with Siding Unlimited. Local, family-owned, honest and reliable, knowledgeable and skilled. And lots of options, too. You want windows, but think siding. Siding Unlimited, Wisconsin's best, America's best. SidingUnlimited.com.
I couldn't even bend over, but now after stem cell treatment, I can deadlift a house.
Now, this is an exaggeration, but I do hear about unbelievable miracle outcomes, and I have to ask, do you really believe them? If they were true, these biological treatments wouldn't even have to be advertised. Truth is, stem cell effectiveness is nowhere near 100%. It's expensive, and it doesn't last. At Rejuvenex, our FDA-approved pharmacological treatments ease inflammation and reduce pain. They're precisely administered to where your pain lives, and they work. Will the pain reduction last forever? No. But in some cases, relief has lasted as long as 24 months, and in most cases, insurance has paid for the treatments entirely. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Happy New Year from Heiser Automotive. There's no time like now to refresh your ride, whether that means a new car or making sure your current car is winterized and ready to go. For our customers, we've created the Safe and Sound program. Every sale includes the exchange program. Don't love it? Exchange it. Convenience service. Use our new mobile service van. will come to you. Lifetime roadside assistance and much more. Stop in or shop online. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
Happy Thursday. Thanks for hanging out with us a little bit. U.S. Congressman Mike Gallagher coming up a little bit later on, about a half hour from now, actually. Congressman Gallagher will be here. Big story locally is that the court has granted the city of Milwaukee ownership of Northridge Mall. Sean Ryan, this is his lead in the story. The city of Milwaukee, after decades of wrangling over the future of Northridge Mall, on Thursday, that's today, gained court approval to take ownership of the property, a key step in officials' plan to begin tearing it down this year. Sean is the senior reporter at the Milwaukee Business Journal, and he is with us this afternoon. Good afternoon, Sean.
Good afternoon.
Is there any possibility that there's another step, another shoe to drop, that something will happen, someone will appeal, a court will come in, and they'll say, wait, this isn't done yet, or is this really pretty close to being done?
Especially with Northridge Mall, I never want to say that nothing is possible, and in this case, there is about a 45-day appeal period where U.S. Black Spruce Enterprise, the longtime owner of the mall, could file an appeal of the court's decision this morning that gave the city title to the property through a foreclosure. The city presents that as a legal long shot, but like I said, this is Northridge, so nothing is too long of a shot to rule out entirely.
And Sean, did Mayor Johnson reference that at all? I heard him speak a little bit today, and he said demolition is going to start in spring. He didn't say we're hoping spring or we're thinking spring. He said demolition is going to start in spring.
City attorneys have really presented the likelihood of a successful appeal anyway as being very unlikely. And the city already owns the Boston store out there, and there are crews working in the building. We understand from the mayor's comments today. So the process is underway to tear down the Boston store that the city already owned. They're going to start bidding out contracts, we understand, in spring to hire a company that would then tear down the rest of the mall. That would probably start this summer.
So today the judge decided this in court. Did Black Spruce bother to show up?
There were no attorneys there representing Black Spruce.
So literally one side of the table had nobody there. So this was pretty short hearing, I would guess, then.
The modern action movies of today, they end with about a big 45-minute scene with lots of explosions. This was the opposite of that. This is more akin to buying a pack of gum. It was done in a few minutes.
Well, explosions are what we're trying to avoid at Northridge Mall. So I guess there's so many steps and hurdles to clear here, Sean. But, thinking ahead to what this development could look like, you've been on the story for a number of months, maybe even a number of years. Is there an idea for what it could turn into once it's all settled?
The mayor did say they don't have a big grand plan right now. There's going to be about 60 acres when and if the city gets it all cleared. And they're going to turn to the neighborhood for input on what should be done with that 60 acres. There have been a bunch of ideas floated over the years. I would guess you'd see something mixed use out there. It seems like the city wants something, that's not going to close it off from the surrounding community, but will instead invite it into this property for the first time in a long time. What that will end up being, we'll have to wait and see.
Sean Ryan is with us. So, Sean, let's talk about what will happen right now. The city has been limited in what they can do, even as far as security and as far as making sure the place is safe. Can they do some things now to make sure it's secure?
They have already hired a security company, and I think the term they used was right now, where that 24/7 security will be put into place. They are going to be hiring a contractor soon to put up perimeter fencing around it. So just removing the safety concern and making this less of a active blight is going to be the first step that the city takes here.
$650,000 in back taxes are owed by Black Spruce. Does this let them off the hook? Does this close the door on all of that, or could the city maybe still recover some of that?
I think they get the property, but they can't get those taxes.
We just in wait and see mode right now, Sean, then through this appeal process, the time frame of it?
That is the legal process right now. We have reached out to Black Spruce through one of our contacts there. I have not heard back from them.
Man, it is a crazy story. I mean, these guys were just trying to sell them all, on the cheap a couple of weeks ago, weren't they?
For about $3 million was the asking price going into earlier this year, but that was contingent on the city waiving both the fines that were on the property and those unpaid taxes as well.
Yeah. All right. Sean Ryan, check out his work. He's a senior reporter at the Milwaukee Business Journal. Very thorough, as always. Sean, thank you so much for spending some time with us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
It is 4:13 at WTMJ. I mentioned U.S. Congressman Mike Gallagher. He will join us live coming up at 4:38. Up next, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Ben Brust on WTMJ.
Getting you where you need to go.
Slow moving for your morning commute.
Traffic with Debbie Lossiga.
We are seeing delays right now.
Only on WTMJ.
Hey, Wisconsin, Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac. Hey, the New Year's sales event is going on. You need to make Holiday your destination to explore all that's new, shop an impressive selection, and get in on those enticing offers while you get more Mazda for your money and more for your trade. And right now, well-qualified buyers can lock in rates as low as 0% for up to 5 years and drive inspired in a raved about new Mazda CX-30, the CX-5, or the CX-50. These are all so cool and all brand new and with standard iActive all-wheel drive. That's great. Connect with Holiday and navigate today's car market with a bit of confidence. Relax and enjoy their transparent, simplified buying approach and genuine guest care. It is the stuff that delights and makes fans of drivers from all over, and I'm one of them. You're going to be in great hands with Wisconsin's #1 Mazda dealer, its top-selling Mazda-certified pre-owned dealer, and the Badger State's only recipient of the prestigious Mazda President's Club Award, all on your side. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
When you see our selection of gently worn brand name girls and women's clothing, you'll love what you find, and you'll love the prices, so low that you won't believe your eyes. At St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, you'll find something cute, maybe a whole new outfit for so much less. Gently worn brand name clothing at far below retail. You're gonna love it. On Highway 100 at Layton and Greenfield, and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Siding, roofing, bathroom transformation. It's Sidex, S-I-D-E-X. They did the work in our house. I'll tell you what, it's incredible. I had somebody else say they just did the work in their house. They took out a conventional bathtub and put in a walk-in shower. If you want a walk-in shower, this is the company to go with. It's affordable. It's easy. They did the work in our place in like half a day. I mean, I was so impressed with Sidex. They've upgraded and transformed our bathroom space. At Sidex, it's the best products, the industry's best installers. Joe and his team just do it right. I trust them. It's Sidex. They only do the project once. Do it right. You'll never have to do it again. My bathroom is a different bathroom. It's just better. It's Sidex, S-I-D-E-X, Sidex.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Heard at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic and weather, let's check in with Wyatt, who's in for Debbie this afternoon. Hey there, Wyatt.
Hey, John, we're still seeing the effects of that fog. You could barely see anything on the cameras, and because of that, you can barely see anything on the roads, and people are taking it slow on 43. Both ways coming around downtown, either going north or south of the Marquette, and it is slow going. That's true as well coming out on 94 westbound into the stadium, as we're seeing a couple minutes of delays there. Everybody definitely driving carefully. 43 southbound is actually much improved north of that. We're barely seeing any delays now. Just a couple of minutes slowdown around Hampton Avenue. And 41 southbound, no fog, yes delays. Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol right now. Pretty solid brake lights. I'm Wyatt Barmar-Pooley with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, a dense fog advisory for most of southeast Wisconsin goes until 9 o'clock. It's getting very foggy in some places, and the rain's beginning to move in as well. The rain and fog continue through most of the night, a low of 36 degrees tonight. Tomorrow, foggy once again with more rain, a mild high of 41. Saturday, cloudy, a high of 41. Sunday, the snow melt continues, cloudy, a high of 39. And on Monday, mostly cloudy, a high of 38. All this comes during what is traditionally the coldest 10 days of the Wisconsin winter. Right now, 37 degrees and foggy.
It's time for Green and Gold Insiders on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Ben Brust is with us. Kyle Brust and Nortman, Monday through Friday, 2 to 5 on ESPN Wisconsin. Ben, good to see you.
Guys, life's going to change.
Oh, man. What do you have? We know you moved over the weekend. You brought that up last week.
It went well.
Okay, good.
And I just saw my girlfriend, not too long ago, and we were talking to somebody, and she said I was a rock star in the move, and I was like,
"Oh, good."
I didn't hear you say that at all the last 7 days. And she goes, "I don't say it to you. I say it in front of others."
Now, you hired movers, but it's still a lot of work, isn't it?
Yes. We decided to do what I don't know if I'm going to recommend to others. Buy a house, have a kid, all within 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Do you guys have any advice, man? I know everyone's experience is different, but this could happen within the next 24 hours. There's a planned induction potentially on Tuesday. We could go natural beyond that if we don't decide to do that. What do I need?
So my advice is basically a sports analogy. People use the phrase, or in leadership, they talk about be comfortable being uncomfortable. You need to learn to be comfortable, not getting enough sleep, not eating what you want, not getting quiet time.
Well, I'm really
with your
good at not
girlfriend.
eating what I want because
it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's rewarding. It's the coolest thing ever, but you got to embrace that you're not going to sleep like you used to. It's just not easy.
It's hard when you don't have one, right? All you hear is it's the best thing in the entire world, but it's also going to suck.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's like, how can something suck so bad but be so amazing? And I guess that's where it's like you just got to find out.
So a couple of things for me. First of all, nothing quite prepares you for that moment when you see a human head emerge from your partner's body. That is number one. Number two, there is no more intense love than the love you'll feel for your child. And that's what makes all the hard stuff
worth it,
rewarding. Number three, and this is one we subscribe to early.
Wait, do you have 10 of these? I mean, goodness.
I'm gonna go
You got to text me.
How long is the segment?
Yeah.
Don't do once what you aren't willing to do 1,000 times.
Well, what did you not want to do 1,000 times?
Keep that in the back of your mind. So when baby's crying, you will learn the difference between baby's hungry, baby needs to be changed, or baby just wants somebody in the room. And that's the one you have to be weary of, because the more you keep going to that room, the more the baby's going to keep crying. So you have to at some point, you'll know, let the baby cry it out. Cry themselves back to sleep, and that's how you'll get a good sleeping baby moving forward. You can't keep busting in every time you hear
You should write a book, Matzik. This is a lot of stuff.
Oh, that's the game changer. That is the big one. That is the hardest thing for parents to do. You hear the cry, and you feel like you have to rush in. You'll know the difference. There's a feeding cry, there's an I need to be changed cry, and there's just an I want to be held cry. That's the one you have to be careful of.
All right, Wisconsin's afternoon news. I need you guys to text in, call in, because I love Greg and I love John, but I feel like there might be some more qualified listeners out there that might be able to give good advice as well. I'm not, taking you down, Greg,
hey, those
but
are
I believe in the audience.
855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. Let's help Ben get through this. Do you know if you're having a boy or a girl?
It's exactly where I was going to go next, guys. So let's do the guessing game because we are waiting for the surprise. What is your hunch?
That's great. That's fantastic. Well, we're both girl dads.
Okay.
So we each have two girls. Boy or girl for Ben Brust? That's really
I'm going to guess girl.
All right, we got one on girl.
Gut feeling.
I was going to say boy, actually.
Okay. This is very
I don't
fitting.
know why, but boy. I feel boy.
Family parties in St. Louis with her, in the Chicagoland area with my family. We took down every family member's guess, and we have a spreadsheet.
Fun.
And right now, based off the odds, it's about 60% girl, 40% boy. So if you want to make a little plus money if you are in the betting world, boy has some extra value.
Does your girlfriend have a hunch? Does she have a feel?
I think she's thinking girl, and I think I'm thinking girl.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Just a gut feeling?
Just a gut feeling. I feel like I'm going to melt.
If that happens for you, it's the best thing ever, isn't it, Matzik?
It's incredible.
It is unbelievable to be a girl dad.
It's a good time to be alive with good help right here on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
All right, we're going to let you know what the listeners recommend for you. We're going to send
I'll
you those
stop by
tips.
after the show. How about
good.
that?
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, but I wanted to congratulate you while we have you here on Touchdowns for Love. This was incredible, guarding against cancer. You raised a lot of money. What was the final total?
$52,385.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yes, and so that was like my you like your stretch goal, your dream goal. I was like, we're doing this, I believe week 12, week 13 against the Chiefs is when it started. And I was like, he'd really have to go on a heck of a run. And I was thinking to myself, I looked back, I don't know if there was another quarterback that's thrown as many touchdowns or rushed for as many touchdowns as Jordan Love did from when we started Touchdowns for Love. So all of this was possible because Jordan Love played his best football of the year at the right time. And I got to shout out all of the pledgers that pledged a certain amount per touchdown. It started on Giving Tuesday. Coach Greg Gard came on. I've been involved with Guarding Against Cancer, and I was like, Coach, I want to do something for GAC. For every Jordan Love touchdown moving forward, I will donate $100 per touchdown. He matched and then got texts from great advertising partners, teammates, shows, and just people who wanted to get involved. And so I have to shout out the people for sure right now that helped get us to that number, because it's one of the first times I've ever done something that is really fulfilling, where it's not just about doing content on the air that we're doing to entertain the audience, to keep them coming back every day. This was something that's making an impact in research that can help change lives.
Yep. You literally could not have handpicked a better quarterback to maximize the contributions to Guarding Against Cancer. That's the amazing part. You started it at a time when who knew where the Packers were going to end up. You had some faith, you had a target number, and you just blew every bit of that out of the water.
They were 5-6 when this started with the Chiefs game, because they had just beat the Lions on Thanksgiving, which was a great win. And then it was still like, are they going to make the playoffs? It's still a tough game against the Chiefs. And then boom, the rest happened, and I got to shout out Matt LaFleur. Not to say that he specifically knows, but maybe he got wind of it, because there was a couple play-action plays for some touchdowns around the goal line that I was like, Matt likes to help guard against cancer.
Hey, so I know it's Green and Gold Insiders, but I need to get your take on the Bucs situation. Just the idea of a coach taking over midseason. Expectations haven't changed, right? I mean, it's still championship or bust. The window is open. How tricky is that? Have you ever been a part of a team that had anything like this happen? And can you put yourself in the shoes of Doc Rivers, who we expect to be named here officially shortly, stepping into this situation and moving forward?
The only thing I can think of was with my basketball career at Wisconsin, never happened when I was there, but 2 years after the Final Four run in 2014, 2015, and then in December of 2016 is when Coach Ryan stepped down and Greg Gard took over in the middle of the season, and they had a bad stretch, right? It looked rocky, and they ended up making the Sweet 16 and won a bunch of games, and Coach Gard's having a great year now, but that's still very different than having two top 10 players in the NBA. So I think it's twofold, right? The Bucs should have done a much better job backfilling candidates. When you fire a coach that brought a world championship for the first time in 50 years to this city, and then you get rid of him, and you bring in a first-time head coach, right? You got to be sure on that. This is a window that you have to take advantage of. So failure there, but you do have to commend that if you really didn't believe that this coach could help you win a championship, it's a tough move. Third shortest tenure in NBA history as a head coach, but they made a move. And if that helps them have the best chance to win a championship, and the organization believes that, and most importantly, if Giannis and Dame believe that, then it's the right move, and we'll ultimately see how that plays out.
ESPN Milwaukee's Ben Bruss, 2 to 5, Monday through Friday. Good luck with the baby.
Who's got better advice than Greg and John?
We'll see. We'll give you an update here in a few minutes.
Thanks, boys.
Yeah, seriously. So hit that text line, 855-616-1620. What does Ben need to know about being a brand new daddy? Maybe some advice. 855-616-1620. You give it to us, and we will give it to him. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything ended in the green. Kind of a very interesting day. The S&P 500 up a little bit, 25 points. The NASDAQ up a little bit, 28 points. The Dow just kind of exploded near the end of the day. It closed up 242 points, back over 38,000. 38,049 is where it is now sitting. Get ready for 2024 with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Adrian was seriously injured when a careless driver merged into her lane.
Gruber was there for everything that I needed. Any questions that I had, Gruber was there. They made me feel like everything about my situation and my accident was very important to them, and that made me feel good. And I would definitely call Gruber again for that.
Serving Wisconsin for over 35 years, Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They go above and beyond for their clients.
Hey, this year is the year you can make that pain go away in your joints. That joint pain for 2024, say goodbye to it with a call to QC Kinetics. Hey, don't go another year compromising because of that pain in your knees or your shoulder. Wherever it is, you need to call QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative, non-surgical pain relief. Hey, your body has what it needs to restore and repair that damaged tissue already. QC Kinetics can make it all work. No drugs, no surgery, and no downtime with QC Kinetics. This is the future of pain treatments. It's here, and it's not a Band-Aid fix, QC Kinetics. It's a revolutionary treatment that can get you moving again, get your life back, and it's non-surgical. There you go. If this is the year to decide and fight back against the pain, and why wouldn't it be? Take the first step now with a call to QC Kinetics. Just see what they can do for you. A free consultation awaits. Get it on the calendar at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Whether you're an active or passively active home shopper, our agents want you to be completely up to date with what's out there and what's brand new to the market. With our instant emailed MLS updates, you'll never miss out on what could be the home of your dreams. All you have to do is call and tell us where to search, give us a price range, and soon you'll be totally in tune with your desired real estate market. Remember, MLS searches show you everything. Some of the other real estate sites don't. So call Benefit Realty today, where you'll pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com. 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission. You can't find a lower rate of commission, and you won't be able to find better knowledge, service, and real estate expertise than you'll find with our agents at Benefit Realty. Because I know that's what you expect. Now, I'm not sure you'll be able to find the highest caliber of agents everywhere, but I can promise that's what you'll get here. So choose Benefit Realty to exceed your expectations, and you'll pay less for more. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. You need a water softener, reverse osmosis system. You want to make sure your water is protected. It's crisp, clean, and clear with the best customer service in the business. It's Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. I've got all this stuff for them. It is simply the best. They deliver the salt and they make it easy. It is comprehensive, reliable products and services, fixed rental rates. It's so easy. Quality water products and services at a fair price from a local company you can trust. It's Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. Outstanding people, kind-hearted professionals, high-caliber professionals, quality products, Guthrie and Fry. In-house plumbers, they can handle any tough question without a callback. They don't need to come back. They carry what they need on the truck. They take care of you big time, friendly and convenient. The teams I trust are at Guthrie and Fry.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Shop Ken Michaels Furniture's January New Year's sale for savings up to 50% off on better quality furniture and mattresses. Showrooms in Greenfield, Brookfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm Jessica Gatso. Your top story, a major Midwestern bridge upgrade from the president.
I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, and we're still seeing the effects of the fog, and 43 is sort of reversed from its normal patterns at this time of day. No problems between Silver Spring and Capitol, but a ton of issues between the Marquette and south of Capitol. Both ways are pretty much standstill traffic, northbound and southbound, all the way between Capitol and the Marquette, and there is no visibility. Everybody's taking it very slow. 94 westbound dealing with the same problems coming into the stadium interchange as the fog is really concentrated around downtown. Eastbound into the stadium, you'll still see a couple minutes delay, and then we're still tracking slowdowns on 41 southbound from about Mill Road down past Hampton to Capitol. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
We've got a dense fog advisory in effect for Kenosha, Racine, Ozaukee, Sheboygan, Waukesha, and Milwaukee County until 9 p.m. Tonight, rain is also likely, a low of 36 degrees. On Friday, still foggy and a good chance for showers, a high of 41. At 4:31, it's 35 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the president making a stop in Superior, Wisconsin today, announcing $1 billion in federal funding to replace the Blatnick Bridge between Minnesota and Wisconsin.
The president returning to Superior nearly 2 years after his last visit, shortly after the signing of the bipartisan infrastructure law. Since then,
we've already invested $6.1 billion in Wisconsin.
And now $1 billion more for repairing the Blatnick Bridge. President Biden says the issue was never too far from mind.
We knew this bridge needed a lot of work. Tammy didn't let me forget that either.
The president thanking Senator Tammy Baldwin and saying,
Credit your governors, and I mean it sincerely, your state legislators for coming up with the matching money to invest in this bridge. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gotten done.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Assembly Republicans have voted this afternoon to pass a bill banning abortions after 14 weeks of pregnancy. Governor Tony Evers is expected to veto it. The legislation would ban abortions 14 weeks after, quote, probable fertilization, with exceptions for situations in which the mother's life or health would be endangered without the procedure. The bill would reduce the time frame for legal abortions in Wisconsin by 6 weeks. The bill passed with a 53-46 vote, and it heads to the Republican-led Senate next. The city of Milwaukee has a goal to eliminate all traffic-related deaths or serious injuries by the year 2037. Jessica Weinberg is the policy director of the initiative Vision Zero. She tells TMJ4 News.
We do know overall that crashes in the city, especially those with deadly or serious outcomes, really impact certain neighborhoods the most.
Weinberg is developing a Vision Zero action plan, and the city is hosting a series of open house meetings, encouraging the public to come and give community feedback and ideas. Meetings will be held in neighborhoods where the burden of traffic accidents are felt the most, such as near the intersection of Fond du Lac and Capitol Drive. The first meeting is tonight from 5 to 7 at the Office of African American Affairs. The city now controls the future of the Northridge Mall site after a judge's ruling granting the city full ownership of the property on the city's northwest side.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson seeming confident that the ruling issued by the judge today will not allow U.S. Black Spruce any legal recourse.
My understanding is that we're in the clear. The city now has ownership.
While the mayor would not comment on the future of the site, 9th District Alderwoman Larissa Taylor offered her thoughts.
What I'd like to see there is something that's going to be really beneficial for the whole city, and I've said that from day one. I really would like to see something that's going to bring the community together.
At City Hall in downtown Milwaukee, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
High school juniors attending Milwaukee Public Schools can now apply to Milwaukee's 2 largest colleges for free. Milwaukee Direct Admit is a new initiative by the M-Cubed Partnership, providing a streamlined online application to Milwaukee Area Technical College, University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, or both schools. It doesn't require any fees or additional paperwork like essays or letters of recommendation. Students who apply are guaranteed acceptance to at least one of the schools they select. M-Cubed is a collaboration among MPS, MATC, and UWM applications being accepted until June 14th. I'm Jessica Gatso, citing Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 4:35.
Sponsored by Grandview Homes, the name you know, the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
We needed to sell Mom's home quickly and with a company we could rely on.
No showings, no closing costs, no staging, no real estate agent fees, no added stress.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. The Energy Star ratings for windows are getting a lot tougher to get the tax credit, so you're going to want to take advantage of. Fortunately, we still have options that will qualify you for those tax credits. Now, I can sit here and talk benefits of this product or what's great about that product. So can everybody else. But what a lot of operations can't do is with complete confidence stand behind the crew that's going to be on that next job. Talk is cheap, I get it, but our people are exceptional. How do I know? Because me and Vito handpick every single person that makes our team. Some make the cut, a lot don't. And that's why you can be confident that the windows we install for you will be top quality, installed right, and that you're going to get great service. And that's never failed us. So for your home's new windows, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve's community for Heiser Automotive. I love talking about Heiser. You know that. I've had the privilege and the honor of driving their vehicles for the last 5 years. My newest vehicle, a 2023 Ford Explorer XLT four-wheel drive, perfect for the upcoming Wisconsin winter weather. Beautiful Atlas blue metallic color. Everybody talks about it when they see it. A great technology vehicle. Auto start-stop technology, 10-speed automatic transmission, terrain management system. How about this? 23 combined mileage highway and city. Awesome for an SUV. Heated exterior mirrors. Very cool. Roof rails, keyless access, heated front seats. Use that over the weekend. Second row captain's chairs, and upgraded interior trim. All the other great programs, safe and sound, vehicle exchange program, roadside assistance for life. Heiser even has options for mobile services for the Ford locations, 5 convenient locations to get your vehicle ready for the upcoming weather. That's why they say every day, today is your day.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
We are joined on WTMJ by U.S. Congressman Mike Gallagher. Congressman, thank you so much for being with us.
Hey, it's an honor to be with you.
Yeah, I'm glad that you are here. So this is very interesting. You announced the introduction of the Sturgeon Protected and Exempt from Absurd Regulations Act, which is SPEAR. That's fantastic, by the way. That's one of the greatest acronyms ever in the history of legislation. That is great. What does the act do? What would it do?
Well, first of all, admittedly, I'm very proud of the acronym. Recognizing that, a lot of thought went into it. It would basically prevent or protect what is a time-honored tradition and a key part of our economy here in Wisconsin, and that's sturgeon spearing. I mean, we're the sturgeon capital of the world, and the risk right now is that the Fish and Wildlife Service is going to draw upon the Endangered Species Act and list lake sturgeon as an endangered species where there's really no scientific support for that designation. This all goes back to 2018. A leftist environmental group agitated for the Fish and Wildlife Service to take this action. It would be devastating. And I think the key point here is that we actually have a great balance here. We have a productive partnership, and I don't say this with a lot of things, with the DNR and local fishermen. We have the world's most meticulous management plan that combines public and private efforts, biologists. We're the envy of the world. People literally travel from all over the world, from as far as Russia, to come study our management process here. And to list lake sturgeon under the Endangered Species Act would completely decimate that. It would be counterproductive to the success we've had here and devastating from an economic and tradition perspective. So I'm hoping we don't actually need to rely on the passage of this bill. We've sent a letter to the Fish and Wildlife Service, and they're going to have to make a decision by June on this. So we're hoping they make the right decision, but we're not going to put all our eggs in that basket. That's why we introduced this bill.
Congressman, does it make sense to have any mechanisms of control to where you're limited in the amount of sturgeon you might be able to spear?
Yeah, I mean, we already have those mechanisms in place. And we do all sorts of things to, track data. We have detailed spawning reports conducted by the DNR with community collaboration across the state. The DNR maintains accurate spawn rates of population levels that are needed to ensure the health and sustainability of the species. They use the fees collected by the DNR for spearing licenses specifically to conduct sturgeon management and advance conservation efforts. We're trying to revive something right now called the Sturgeon Guard, where we would crack down on any illicit practices. The point is, nothing is 100% perfect, but we have the balance about as right as anybody has ever been able to get it here in Northeast Wisconsin. And I challenge you to find the study that would suggest this species is endangered in any meaningful sense right now. And just one other point of color here. We had a town hall on this issue in Chilton earlier this week. We had 600 people come out at 7 p.m. at night because they were concerned about this issue. I mean, I would challenge you to find even some of the rallies in New Hampshire, political rallies, didn't get 700 people to show up. That just goes to show you the depth and intensity of interest here in Northeast Wisconsin. And really, I think the anger that your average Northeast Wisconsinite feels when thinking that the Fish and Wildlife Service could take an action this stupid.
U.S. Congressman Mike Gallagher is with us. Speaking of New Hampshire Congressman, Nikki Haley loses by 10 points. Donald Trump, I guess you could say, wins by, I think it was more like 11 points. Is this thing over for all intents and purposes?
Well, I mean, it does seem like it's a narrow path for her to get the nomination. Now, Nikki Haley said she's not going to drop out. And I'm not one of these people that's saying, okay, we have to shut down the primary now. I think the competition is healthy. I mean, it was always going to be difficult to run against who is effectively an incumbent president in the nature of Donald Trump. But the field has only been narrowed to two people for really one state, and not really even that. So I think it's fair for her to say she wants to fight on to her home state in South Carolina, even if it looks like an uphill battle. And the worst case scenario is that, steel sharpens steel. There'll be arguments, there'll be debates, there'll be things like that. And ultimately, I think that enhances the Republican Party, doesn't detract from it.
What were you doing in Green Bay today?
I was going all over Green Bay today. I just came from a tour of the new Mulva Center here in De Pere, which is incredible. I mean, you guys got to get up here and take a look at it. We had a Save the Bay meeting right before that at NWTC. That's where we bring together farmers, conservationists to figure out how do we ensure we have healthy water and healthy soil practices. Was in my district office doing constituent meetings. I toured a school, a classical school here in Green Bay earlier today. So we've been hitting it hard since 7 a.m. and the day is young still. So I'm not allowed to have any fun, but I find a lot of this stuff fun.
We thought maybe you had found a defensive coordinator for the Packers. We weren't sure.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that my name is not being floated as a potential replacement for Joe Barry is criminal. I mean, I've dedicated my life to defense.
It's true.
I defend the country from, the Chinese Communist Party. I feel like this is a natural skill set that the Green Bay Packers could leverage to get us to the Super Bowl next season.
There you go.
I just feel better when you're in Green Bay because I feel like I thought I read somewhere a while back that you sleep in a little cot in your office. You literally sleep in the office when you're in Green Bay. At least now you have a proper bed. I mean, when you're in D.C., now you have a proper bed.
Well, the truth is I don't sleep. I sleep with one eye open, let me say that. But when I do quasi-sleep, it is it's a pitiful cot in my office in Washington, D.C. It's very pathetic. But, I try to approach this like a deployment. I need that mindset. It's not about being comfortable in D.C. It's about getting stuff done.
Being comfortable, being uncomfortable.
There it is.
Yeah.
U.S. Congressman Mike Gallagher, always good to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. I always enjoy it.
It is 4:45 at WTMJ.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 1. At Creative Planning, we custom tailor your portfolio to help you achieve your ideal financial future. You'll see how our wealth managers work with in-house CPAs and attorneys to ensure your money is working as hard as it can for you. Why not give your wealth a second look? Visit creativeplanning.com. That's creativeplanning.com.
Kind of feels like a screaming Sicilian night. In fact, every night kind of feels like a screaming Sicilian night. There's stuff in the crust of that thing now. That's right. They put 2.5 feet of cheese right there in the crust of the best frozen pizza made by Palermo's. That's my opinion. I think it's the best. My wife likes the Primo Thin. You might like Connie's or Urban Pie or the Surfer Boy Pizza or the Neighborhood Pizzeria Pizza. They've got a variety for you. No doubt, maybe multiple. It's Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza, made in Wisconsin, celebrating their 60th anniversary. Amazing. Palermo's has been doing it right for decades here in the state of Wisconsin. You know their brand. You know where they're made. Why not support local and eat great? So on your way home tonight, stop at the store, Festival Foods, Pick and Save, Sendik's, Piggly Wiggly, Woodman's. Grab a few, put one in the oven tonight, put the rest in the freezer for later, and celebrate a day with Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
The next time they ask you what size tires you need, just go to richlawns.com.
That's Richlawns spelled with 2 N's.
No more trying to read that tiny writing on the side of your old tires or on the inside of your car door.
Just go to richlawns.com, click on the year button, then the make and model of your vehicle, and
the exact tire size you need.
In a multitude of brands and styles.
Yet all specific to your vehicle, because at Richlawns, there isn't a tire on the planet we can't get.
And every tire we install automatically comes with free flat tire repair, which means you're 100% covered, no questions asked.
The next time you're Due for tire service? Visit richlawns.com.
Because free flat tire repair automatically comes with every tire we install.
I'm Brett Matchke with Rich Lawns. You're due for service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Rich Lawns Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Rich Lawns.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
Traffic and weather. What's going on out there, Wyatt?
You know, John, I'm looking at all these cameras, and it almost looks like there's a winter storm on, but it's just the fog. It's still causing a lot of issues in and around Metro Milwaukee, right in downtown. 43 still stands still south of Locust and even south of North Avenue as they deal with the fog. Now those delays on southbound also stretching up north of Capitol all the way back almost to Hampton now. So we're seeing at least 10 minutes of delays on 43 southbound. Looks like 5 minutes of delays on 43 northbound. And then 94 still slow through the stadium, especially westbound as you head through the fog, west of the city through the stadium. Once you get to the zoo, it should be cleared up. And then 41 southbound, again, still not dealing with as much fog, but those delays have been consistent all the way from south of Mill down past Hampton, almost to Capitol. I'm Wyatt Barmar-Pooley with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, a dense fog advisory goes until 9 o'clock for most of southeast Wisconsin. Foggy, rain likely tonight, a low of 36 degrees. The rain is actually moving in for much of our area right now. Tomorrow, another rainy day, lots more fog, a high of 41 still. On Saturday, cloudy, a high of 41. Sunday, cloudy, 39. Monday, cloudy, 38. This is typically the coldest time of year, so very mild air. Right now, cloudy, rainy, and 38 degrees.
For all you need to know on and off the court, it's Bucks Insiders on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
So yesterday about this time, we were awaiting Jon Horst, Bucks general manager, ready to address the media, talking about the firing of Adrian Griffin, and he had very interesting words when addressing the Doc Rivers situation. Rivers expected to be the next head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. Horst said as part of his media gathering yesterday, before anybody was able to ask or answer a question, he said, we're not going to talk about Doc tonight. We may talk about him in the future. Just kind of paraphrasing here a little bit, but more is to come on this front. And you and I had questioned yesterday. I wonder what they're working out.
Yeah.
Well, what we've learned today through Shams Charania, plugged-in NBA insider for The Athletic, is that the Bucks and Doc are finalizing an agreement on a multi-year deal. So not just to finish out this season, but beyond this season as well. So a contract through the 26-27 season is what they're looking at. One of our other questions is how involved was Giannis in this decision? We presume that the players were likely looped in. Giannis was looped in at some point in the process, but Jon Horst admitted things move very fast, and the decision came about quickly, and he wasn't able to get to everybody before collective heads agreed that Adrian Griffin should be fired. With that, Giannis said he was surprised by the move.
No, I think he caught me by surprise. I've been here 11 years. This have happened one time before. And I think the time that happened wasn't doing really well. We were 30 and 13. But again, trust. I gotta trust the front office. I gotta trust the ownership group. That they can see the bigger picture. My job is to be the best version of myself, to lead this team out there and help win games. And their job is to create the best team possible and the best atmosphere around the team possible. That they believe that it give us a better chance to win a championship. It was a surprise.
Another question here, and it's so unique, right? This is not a dumpster fire situation. This is a 31 now and 13 basketball team with championship aspirations. This is not a 13 and 31 basketball team that's ticketed for the lottery, in which case you just apply an interim coach tag to somebody to round out the season and then, figure things out for the next year and beyond. So now you're looking for a coach, as experienced as he is in Doc Rivers, to come in, midstream sort of pick up what's happening, apply his own principles and philosophies, and try and get this done, likely having to rely on the talent alone for some early wins. Can this be done? This is very, very unusual in NBA history.
38 games also, do I know if it's going to be enough? No, I don't know. I've never been in a position like that before. I don't know if 38 games is enough to come together and try to win a championship. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But at the end of the day, like we play the game. Players play the game. And, at times we need direction. But at the end of the day, our talent will take over, and we're gonna read the play. We're gonna make the best possible decision. And I think we've played a season that guys have been healthy. We've played a lot of minutes together. Like me and Dame, we've played 40-something games together, and we're going to play 70, 80, who knows. But we're on the court together. Me, Chris, Dame, Brooke, like we're on the court, so we're playing. Good or bad. Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. But it's good that we are out there together. Now, who's going to come and give us that direction? In the future, I don't know. Right now, I know the guys giving us direction is Coach Joe.
Coach Joe is Joe Prunty, who is the interim head coach and helped lead the Bucks to a win last night. What's very clear to me, John, is that the players appreciate who Griffin is, the person.
Right, they like him.
No doubt about that. And there may have been differences in we should be doing X versus Y, and that, I think, played out, and there were some tense moments in the locker rooms with players and coach. But Giannis, I think, encapsulates what the players felt about him.
You know, you build a relationship with people, and all of a sudden, boom, they're not here. For a coach like Griff, I think from day one, everything was about togetherness. Was always leading this group, into the direction that we set in the beginning of the year. And him not being here, at the end of the day, we're human. It hurts. We've got to keep on moving forward. We have a goal in our head, which is to be the best basketball team that we can be. Obviously, there's a lot of high expectations from the ownership group, from the front office, from ourselves to be great. And this is the business of the NBA. I've been in a situation like that in the past. I understand how things works. I got to keep on moving forward. Today, Joe Prunty is our head coach.
Those are the words from Giannis after last night's win. He talked for about 18 minutes, which is quite long for a post-game press conference. It usually is more of a 5-minute kind of thing, but obviously quite a bit of questions, as you might imagine, given the last 48 hours or so.
I watched the game last night. There seemed to be a real energy. They seem to be different in pregame warmups. They seem to be different in the huddle after the game, watching Giannis interact with fans, which he does often. He smiled. A victory against Cleveland is a pretty good basketball team, but it seemed to be a really good energy.
Well, Cleveland beat them by 40 a week ago. Keep that in mind. And they were down by 47 in that game. And to me, that was the last straw for Adrian Griffin. That and just struggling against the Pistons, I think that all kind of works together. Coaches, players, front office members, nobody likes to be embarrassed. And the Bucks, on a couple of occasions this year, have been embarrassed by teams that on paper they should be better than.
It is 4:56 at WTMJ. Business headlines up next. First, a couple of words from my friends at Dave Dracamp Heating. The seasons fly by so fast. I mean, when I think about it, it seems like Thanksgiving wasn't that long ago. And before that, it was Halloween with all the snow. Thanksgiving. We got to Christmas. Christmas really was just like a month ago. A month ago today. It's hard to believe. And now New Year's has come and gone. We're pulling out the champagne. Where does it go? Looking back at all those times, and we gather as a family a lot, I'm thankful to Dave Dracamp Heating that when we gather as a family, the comfort in my house is better than it ever has been. We enjoy the comfort all throughout the year, courtesy of the great team at Dave Dracamp Heating. From the new system that they installed several years ago to the care they've shown in keeping my system up and running. I've even had to call them in the middle of the night and they come out. It's Dave Dracamp Heating. They're going to take care of you like you're part of their family. For over 40 years, Dave Dracamp Heating has been as reliable as the seasons and a family company you can count on. So if you're not feeling grateful for your current heating contractor, make it your resolution to give the team at Dave Dracamp Heating a try. Visit DaveDracamp.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
The next generation for the CEO at Northwestern Mutual as John Schlifsky steps down after 14 years. At year-end, Chief Distribution Officer Tim Guerin ascends to the CEO position. Celebrities ride Harley-Davidsons in an online video unveiling the company's new models for 2024. American Pickers star Mike Wolfe rides a street glide on the West Coast, as does his girlfriend Letitia Klein. Aldi looks to expand its distribution center in Oak Creek by 50,000 square feet. Grocer says it needs more storage for perishable items. I'm Rich Kirchin with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
At Kessler's Diamonds, we know you're too busy to go shopping from store to store, too busy to listen to a bunch of sales pitches, too busy to negotiate. This is Monica Kessler. I'm going to tell you another reason why I like working at Kessler's. Are you ready? At Kessler's, we don't negotiate. We think it's unfriendly and dishonest, so we've never done it. Would you ask your friend to pay a higher price than what you were truly willing to accept? Kessler's is a 100% employee-owned company, and the owners insist that everyone gets the lowest price. Don't believe me? Put it to the test. Go to any of our Kessler's locations and ask to buy something for $1 less than the price on the tag. One of our owners is going to offer to find you something else at that $1 lower price, but the item you want costs $1 more, period. Kessler's is the face of friendship and fairness and integrity. You never have to negotiate at Kessler's, and that's comforting, especially when you're in a hurry.
Is it time to give your home a new look?
Absolutely.
Get personal care from Adair. Adair Floors and Remodeling has a design team ready to help with all flooring and remodeling needs, including tub to shower conversions. Want to create your dream kitchen, including cabinets? How about the rec room? Adair Floors and Remodeling has been family run in Franklin for over 65 years. For floors and all home remodeling needs, get personal care from Adair. Adair Floors and Remodeling, South 27th Street in Franklin, and online at adairfloors.com.
Griffin's Ultimate New Year Special, $179.95. Oil change, tire rotation, air filter, wiper blades, multi-point inspection, battery check, and heat inspection. Drive confidently into the new year. See Griffin for details.
Returning to Milwaukee, the world's greatest Pink Floyd experience, Brit Floyd, celebrating 30 years of the Division Bell. Friday and Saturday, April 5th and 6th at the Riverside Theater. Brit Floyd, the Pulse Tour. Tickets on sale now at papstheatergroup.com.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at accunet.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Tayback Law fights for those who fought for us. If you're a vet and have been wrongfully denied the VA benefits you're entitled to, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Your hometown hub for everything that matters. The latest news, traffic, weather, and sports on Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, President Biden and the Blotnick Bridge.
I'm Greg Manzik. The city of Milwaukee now owns a mall.
I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley in for Debbie Loziga, and taking a look around the whole system, it's starting to be slow pretty much everywhere. A lot of brake lights, and it's the combination of rush hour traffic and that dense fog that continues to really affect 43. It's now all the way basically up to Keefe, both ways, all the way from Keefe down to the Marquette. Standstill traffic northbound, southbound. 94 westbound also seeing a lot of effects as you head out of the Menominee Valley towards the stadium interchange. And then we're also starting to see some slowdowns that are typical. 894 southbound, slow through the Hale. 894 westbound, slow through the Mitchell. And keeping an eye on those delays on 41, both southbound, which has been consistent, Mill to Hampton, pretty much all afternoon. Now on northbound, a little bit from North Avenue all the way up to Capitol. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
A dense fog advisory in effect for most of southeast Wisconsin until 9 o'clock tonight. That fog mixes in with rain as we head through the evening, a low of 36 tonight. Tomorrow, foggy and more rain, a high of 41 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the president making a stop in Superior, Wisconsin today.
Hello, Wisconsin.
President Joe Biden speaking at a brewery at the base of the Blatnick Bridge, a route he calls critical to the U.S. economy.
Every year, 950,000 trucks use the bridge to carry 3.4 billion tons of goods.
The bridge was slated to be decommissioned in 2030, but $1 billion in federal funding will see it replaced. President Biden touting the upgrades.
Less traffic, fewer car accidents, faster commutes to your jobs and schools. Goods are going to get shipped quicker.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Assembly Republicans have voted this afternoon to pass a bill banning abortions after 14 weeks of pregnancy. Governor Tony Evers expected to veto it. The legislation would ban abortions 14 weeks after probable fertilization, with an exception for situations in which the mother's life or health would be endangered without the procedure. The bill would reduce the time frame for legal abortions in Wisconsin by 6 weeks. The bill passed with a 53-46 vote and heads to the Republican-led Senate next.
The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office has identified the woman shot and killed in a suspected murder attempted suicide. Milwaukee police are investigating the death of Shelley Kosick that happened shortly before 9 last night near South 65th Street and Ohio Avenue. Kosick was pronounced dead at the scene. A 42-year-old Milwaukee man was taken into custody and conveyed to a local hospital and treated for a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He's in critical condition.
During media availability, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson expressing confidence that this latest key moment in the Northridge Mall saga will guarantee they can move forward with demolition.
My understanding is that we're in the clear. The city now has ownership of the former mall and can move forward with this.
The mayor wouldn't comment on any proposed ideas for what to do with the property, but said while the demolition process is carried out, security personnel will be on site 24/7. At City Hall in downtown Milwaukee, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Big news today. The city of Milwaukee gaining court approval for ownership of Northridge Mall today. U.S. Black Spruce will have 45 days to appeal the ruling.
Northwestern Mutual, the largest private company in Milwaukee, today announced the retirement of CEO John Schlifsky. Our partners at the Milwaukee Business Journal report Schlifsky will retire at the end of 24. Northwestern Mutual named Tim Gerend as the next top executive. He's currently executive vice president. Northwestern Mutual is a Fortune 500 company with 7,000 employees in the Milwaukee area.
Well, Chicago is a dominant force in the economy of the Midwest, but senior advisor of the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce, Tim Sheehy, tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News it does help Milwaukee.
The advantage we have with Chicago is you can locate close to it, get some advantage from that labor pool, but still be an attractive place to do. And to add to that, Haribo just announced that they're adding another 477,000 square feet to store the production of gummy bears.
The Milwaukee Business Journal reports Haribo will move into that warehouse by the end of the summer.
The Athletic is reporting the Bucks and Doc Rivers have agreed to a multi-year deal that will make Rivers the head coach of the Bucks through the 2026-27 season. The Bucks host the Cavs tomorrow night. Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, and Dak Prescott are finalists for the Associated Press 2023 NFL Most Valuable Player Award.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 5:05.
This report is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
The pain was so bad I could barely walk, and now after stem cell treatment, I run marathons.
Now this is an exaggeration, but I do hear about unbelievable miracle outcomes, and I have to ask, do you really believe them? If they were true, these biological treatments wouldn't even have to be advertised. Truth is, stem cell effectiveness is nowhere near 100%. It's expensive, and it doesn't last. At Rejuvenix, our FDA-approved pharmacological treatments ease inflammation and reduce pain. They're precisely administered to where your pain lives, and they work. Will the pain reduction last forever? No. But in some cases, relief has lasted as long as 24 months, and in most cases, insurance has paid for the treatments entirely. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenix Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
Engagement rings, wedding bands, and big anniversary diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Hey, there's free pizza today at the Amazing Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford. Seriously, it's free. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Every Thursday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza free. No coupons, no gimmicks. It's the best Thursday dining value anywhere, and it's delicious. Buy 2 pizzas, get 2 free. Buy 10, get 10 free. Any size, any quantity. Coaches, bring in your basketball, hockey, wrestling, gymnastics teams. Your players can beef up on the Mine Shaft's great pizza. Your players will also love that world-class game room. It's great for team bonding. It's big food. It's big fun. Bring in pizza today for your loyal employees and valued clients. They'll appreciate you, and your second pizza is free. So don't cook and clean today. Take your family to the Mine Shaft. Buy one pizza, get one free. Plenty to take home for tomorrow. The Mine Shaft right there in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh off the interstate. Order now and pick up your free hot pizza shortly. I love the pepperoni. It's the amazing Mine Shaft.
Why settle for just a job when you could have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee new car dealer members have service, technician, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam new car dealer.
For current great paying job opportunities, visit adam.jobs. That's ADAMM.jobs.
Haul away big deals this Thursday through Sunday at Fleet Farm's Truckload Savings Event. Like 40-pound bags of Diamond Crystal Solar Salt, just $4.99. 20-pound bags of KT Woodlands Wild Bird Food are only $5.99. Plus, save on 50 pounds of Sprout Crumble or Pellet Poultry Layer Feed, just $13.99. And set your sights on 35% off Ammo Inc. defensive handgun ammo. Stock up on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm.
Vince Vitrano here for Expedia Cruises in Brookfield, inviting your family to ring in the new year at sea. Join my family for a 7-night cruise on Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas. We leave Orlando January 29th, stop in Mexico, Honduras, and Royal Caribbean's private island. Let's celebrate New Year's 2025 together. Come as a couple with the kids or grandma and grandpa. How about bringing everyone on the trip of a lifetime? Let me send you more information on that trip with Expedia Cruises in Brookfield. Email me, vince@WTMJ.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
Ever wanted to be a bingo caller?
No, not really.
I think it'd be awesome. So I really thought it would be awesome. Potawatomi is looking for bingo callers. So they're continuing to recover from COVID, and bingo's going back to 7 days a week in mid-February, and they want to double the number of bingo callers. So they're hiring bingo callers. You get to stand up there. You're on a little stage. You're looking out at the vast array of folks with their bingo cards spread out all over with their sodas and their beers and their snacks, and you get to call the bingo numbers.
And their charms, right? Don't they bring, like, troll dolls and lucky everything?
They totally do. Yeah. Stuffed animals. They're wearing their lucky hats. So 5 years in a row, I did this for Potawatomi. They would have charity bingo callers, and they would have members of the media go do this. So I did this 5 years in a row. My very first time, I was so excited. I went down to Potawatomi, and it was weird, by the way, because the bingo hall was still divided, half smoking, half not smoking.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
And they just had a big plastic plexiglass wall right down the middle. On one side, people were smoking. On the other side, they weren't.
I'm sure that worked well.
Yeah, it didn't even go all the way to the ceiling.
Yeah, right.
Stupid. So I went in there, and I was so excited, and they gave me the rules. And they said, this is all business. These people are very serious. You know, they gave me the cadence. They said, you call the numbers. B2. That's B2.
So you have to say it twice?
Yes, you have to say it twice. Then you're supposed to wait 5 seconds. They flash the number up on the big screen. Then you say, 37. 37. I thought that was pretty boring. So I said, man, I'm going to liven this up a little bit. So I got up there, and I started goofing around. I said things like, G54. 54, clean the floor. Suddenly a lady says, stick to the numbers. Hey, radio boy, stick to the numbers. I thought, this is just one lady who's grumpy, right? 66. 66, clickety-click. Now the guy in charge of bingo is like, psst, psst, hey, stop. And he's giving me the sign over your throat, like cut it off. Stop. Don't do that anymore. I thought, man, this isn't very fun. So now he's giving me the cut it off symbol. Now I'm behind on the timing. Now the next ball's dropping. Now the people are getting really antsy, including the lady smoking 2 cigarettes at one time. And I freaked out. I got up there, and I was in my head. I thought, this is not very fun at all, so I just got to do what I came here to do. N33. Dirty knee, all the threes. Fish, chips, and peas. N33. The same lady. I'm not telling you again. Just call the numbers. You're not calling the numbers right. It wasn't fun. I had never been so stressed in my life. I've interviewed presidents.
But you did it 5 years in a row?
Well, the next year I went back and didn't have fun.
Oh, you did? You kept signing up to do it?
Yes, because it's for Canal Street Charity. So
Okay.
I felt they guilted me into it. But the next year I did go back, and they said, "Hey, last year it didn't go so
Start throwing
great.
stuff at you.
Yeah, don't do the B8. Ain't it great?
Yeah.
Just read the numbers.
You can't say you sunk my battleship.
Yep.
That just doesn't work.
No, B2. You sunk my battleship.
Yeah.
No, it's very serious business. I-22. This is one I did specifically because I looked this up ahead of time, and I-22 came up. I-22. It's two little ducks, because two look like ducks. I got the same reaction you just gave me.
Yeah, I got you.
No one understood what I was doing at all.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's a baseball thing, right? If you're number 22, it's like, come on, Ducks.
Yeah, right,
Little
exactly.
bingo here, Ducks.
Here's what's funny. The application to be a bingo caller at Potawatomi says, you've got to be available to speak to the public. You can't be shy. We're looking for strong personalities and people that can think on their feet. What? They want the opposite.
I think strong personality means you're willing to take some of the shade that's thrown your way when you're in this position.
I thought it would be more fun. I wanted it to be more fun. I thought if you're a people person, you'd be good at bingo. No. You're good at calling bingo if you're good at reading numbers at a certain cadence and not having fun.
Man, I think I got the better end of this, like celebrities, quote unquote, getting put into positions that we're not really accustomed to being. You did bingo calling. I did the hibachi chef thing at Benihana, where I got to like flip shrimp and like make the onion train and have that little bottle of sake pea out oil or whatever the heck it was.
Did you flip the shrimp and hit people in the nose?
I tried to like flip up little pieces of food and get people close. I then got a little cocky and I flipped a salt shaker behind my back and hit a lady in the face.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, I was asked to not do that anymore.
Yeah, don't do that anymore. 066 clickety click. Yeah. No, don't do that either. So you're taking applications. If you want to work for Potawatomi, I mean, great.
We'll sign you up here.
Yep. You want to have fun, you might want to look for something else.
Yeah, you're experienced. You could get this.
Oh, that's true. You know, I do. I did update my resume because I think everybody should every 5 years. And I put bingo caller on my resume. So
great thing to add.
It's 5:14 at WTMJ. Up next, Charles Benson talks presidential politics.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
Hi there. I was trying to report a traffic accident for your traffic reporter, Debbie Lazica.
Call me, Debbie Lazica, at thehallmazda.com traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
Hi, Debbie. It's Michael. Eastbound 894, and there's the fender bender, and these guys are blocking the right lane.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
I know, it's January, it's soggy and yucky out. WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you got the January blues, I've got a great idea. Start your weekend tonight with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, voted the best supper club in the area. I can attest to that. Fox and Hounds is a pretty special place. Enjoy any steak, seafood, pan-fried walleye, a big fresh salad, the steak and lobster, any dinner on the menu. Your second dinner is free. Desserts and those huge ice cream drinks, they're buy one, get one free as well. I love that. It's super special. Sip on an old-fashioned, a Manhattan, a bourbon. They've got a new wine list with 100 wines, including a really nice Chianti from Italy. The Fox and Hounds in the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest is a one-of-a-kind gem. The holiday decorations, they're still up for a couple of days. Check out the thousands of lights and Christmas decorations, and those 7 wood-burning fireplaces will keep you warm on a cold, dreary January night. If weekends are too busy, enjoy a romantic dinner tonight at the Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. The drive is beautiful. Start your weekend tonight with a free dinner. Reserve at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you were so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Brewers win!
Get more from your live baseball experience with the 2024 Brewers Ticket Plan. On sale now. Don't miss more exclusive Brewers season seat holder rewards, like your very own batting practice session, more can't-miss action, and more access to the game you love. It's your ticket to being a VIP Brewers fan this season. Plus, you'll enjoy savings on ticket prices you can't get anywhere else. Learn more at brewers.com/ticket plans.
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
When was the last time you had a second opinion on your retirement plan? If you have $750,000 or more, schedule your retirement review with one of our fiduciary advisors at thekowalway.com.
Traffic and weather, it's Wyatt in for Debbie. Good afternoon, Wyatt.
Hey, John, you're going to want to plan for at least a couple minutes of delay, probably anywhere between 2 and 5 on pretty much every highway right now. There's a lot of cars out there, and we're still dealing with the fog. 43 northbound taking over southbound's crown as the slowest right now, as you're going to come up out of the Marquette all the way almost up to Keith. Pretty solid brake lights. 43 southbound looking a lot better. Only a couple minutes slow and pretty much nothing north of Capitol. It's all as you come down into the Marquette. 94 slow both ways, couple minutes through the Stadium interchange. 894 westbound especially right now is seeing a lot of brake lights as you come through the Mitchell interchange and start heading west. And 41 southbound still consistent. It's been slow south of Mill Road now all the way to Capitol. I'm Wyatt Barmar-Pooley with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, a dense fog advisory for southeast Wisconsin, goes until 9 o'clock, and it's thick and nasty out there. Fog and rain continue well into the night with a low of 36 degrees. As a matter of fact, tomorrow is another foggy day, especially in the morning. Rain with a high of 41. On Saturday, cloudy, still very mild for this time of year, a high of 41. Sunday, cloudy, 39. Monday, cloudy, 38. Right now, foggy and drizzly and 38 degrees. Charles Benson is TMJ4's anchor and chief political reporter, and he is with us on the WTMJ hotline. Hello, Charles.
B-52.
You sunk my battleship.
Yeah, Charles, don't apply for the job.
Charles, you'd be a great bingo caller.
You would be, unless you want to have fun.
Hey, you know, I did it once. Have you ever been to, what is it called, Hamburger Mary's? They have the charity bingo there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I called out the numbers for
You
a
didn't get
few bingo
chastised,
games.
did you?
There you can have fun. In fact, you're encouraged to have fun.
It's all business.
It's a very different experience, yeah.
Hey, speaking of business, the president brings his business to far northern Wisconsin, Superior, today. Comes back 2 years after he talked about a bridge to say, hey, we've delivered, the bridge has been done. Tell us about the visit today.
So the visit is interesting because he goes to the very far part of the state, the northern part of Wisconsin, up there in Douglas County, Bayfield, and Ashland counties. And when you look at Wisconsin, you often see a sea of red counties, right? When you see the election map on the election night, and there's very few blue counties and there's a lot of red counties. Well, he went to some solid blue counties, and there's a reason for that. He's got an audience up there that likes what he is doing or was proposing as president. Look, the president is trying to tell us that the economy is doing well. It's working for folks. And he got some good news on that front today. The GDP, which sort of measures the values of goods and services, was up 3% last year. That's a good rate of growth. But the one area where people see the economy impacting them the most is when they go to the grocery store or when they buy things, and they still see things as expensive, and the cost of goods, the cost of living is still expensive for them. And he's trying to change the narrative or talk about areas where things are working and where things have improved, but based on where he's made those investments. Republicans will totally disagree about what is working in the economy. And I've been around politics enough to know that, look, people will look at the economy and it can be the driving issue in an election. I mean, go back to 1980. Ronald Reagan used a very easy phrase, asking a very simple question. Are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? And the answer to that question helped get him elected. in 1992, Bill Clinton used a line from a famous consultant who said, "It's the economy, stupid." And that worked to get Bill Clinton elected. Look, the economy is going to be a big issue. President Biden's up there saying the investment in infrastructure, the things around bringing inflation down, other things have worked. His investments in communities around infrastructure are helping create jobs and helping local economies. But it is still the economy and how people perceive it in their own pocketbook that is really giving him low marks for how he's handling his job.
What does it say about the state of Wisconsin here, Charles, that as things start to heat up here in this race, President Biden has come to town this week, Kamala Harris in town this week, as things are happening in New Hampshire and ultimately down the road, South Carolina. What does it say about the state of Wisconsin's impact on the election?
It says everything. I mean, just look who's here this week. And you got the Treasury Secretary here tomorrow. You had some other secretaries here last week. It says battleground, 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 Wisconsin. Look, they know it's one of 5 states that will determine the outcome of this election. And going even to places where, there's not a ton of votes up in northern Wisconsin, up there in Douglas and Bayfield and Ashland counties. But he won there by almost double digits. So he only wins 14 out of 72 counties. Dane and Milwaukee counties are the 2 biggest where you can get the big numbers and in terms of sheer volume of votes. But it says what everybody is expecting, and that is Wisconsin will be key to the outcome of the race for the White House.
Charles Benson is with us. Charles, I want to expand on what you said. So I'm a cynic, and I think that they don't do any of these trips if they're not thinking first and foremost about how does this help me get reelected or further my agenda. And the question is, Duluth is the 139th biggest TV market. There's only like 205 TV markets, so it's small. 175,000 TV households. It's a good 2.5 hours from Minneapolis. I'm surprised that he didn't find a project in the Green Bay area, in Madison, even in La Crosse. I mean, this is a very small media market.
It is, but it's an important part of the state that speaks to issues. You know, it's interesting you say that because I went to Dubuque a couple of weeks ago as I headed over to Iowa to cover the Republican caucuses there. And I talked to the mayor. It's a nonpartisan office, but you get a sense when you talk to small town mayors how important things like infrastructure, partnerships with government on helping the local economy. You know, my sense of Dubuque, which is a county that went for Donald Trump in 16 and 20, but narrowly, that look, they want to see their governments helping them in areas where they can't afford things. And the mayor there in Dubuque County in Iowa talked about the infrastructure money that they were getting to help with flood mitigation. They were talking about building roads. They were talking about repairing sewers, all things that cost a lot of money for governments that don't really seem to impact your budget in your household, but it helps improve the local economy and provide jobs. So I get what you're saying. Not a big market push here in terms of sheer volume, but the messaging that other places in rural America and across the state of Wisconsin and in Minnesota, they might pick up on some of these things that are playing, you know, as they say, all politics is local. So he breaks it down even in those smaller areas.
He is TMJ4 chief political reporter and anchor Charles Benson. Going to be a fascinating couple months around here, Charles.
Sure will. Thanks.
Thanks for being with us. It is 5:25 at WTMJ. Going to check in on that fog, a deeper dive on the weather, what tonight actually looks like if you got to be out and about with meteorologist Brian Nisnansky, and then Brewers broadcaster Sophia Minert. All that before we get to 6 o'clock. First time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green. The S&P hits a fresh record. The Dow does as well. Pretty good day. The S&P was up 26 points to close at 48.94. The Dow was up 243 points. It closes at 38.049. The NASDAQ was up 29 points to close at 15.510. Get ready for 2024 with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavini for the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew, or broken tiles, you got to call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. Find out for yourself. Elevate your bathroom to a new level of luxury, style, and safety. Schedule your free in-home estimate today and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
Hey, I want to tell you about my favorite hangout for hounds and humans. It really is a fun place to hang out with your dog or without. It's called the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls. And they got a little bit of everything there, which is great. Catch a game, catch a beer with your dog or without. They've got that set up for you. They also have doggy daycare, doggy boarding, professional grooming services, all right there in this state-of-the-art facility. 12,000 square feet, 3 acres of land, and they do it right with expertly trained dog handlers. Here's the other thing. As the snow begins to melt, we get into that muddy mess of a season. There aren't a lot of places you can take your dog where they aren't going to get all muddified. At the Hounds and Tap, there is no mud. It's all AstroTurf and concrete, right? Great places to walk around, be stimulated, and it's a clean environment. No mud after a day at the Hounds and Tap. And if your dog ends up somewhere where he's a little dirty, they've got a washing station as well. What a cool place. It's the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls.
Ring in the new year with the ultimate timeless gift, a diamond from Diamonds Direct. Whether you're ready to pop the question or celebrating a lifetime of love in 2024, Diamonds Direct can make this New Year's one to remember forever. Diamonds Direct is the area's destination for exquisite diamonds in all shapes and sizes, and our nationwide price guarantee ensures you'll get the best value, period. To showcase that spectacular diamond, we have literally thousands of designer settings from all the top names like Tacori, Verragio, Simon G, A. Jaffe, and many more. And our experts will guide you every step of the way with the education you want and the respect you deserve. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, fashion rings. At Diamonds Direct, we specialize in the ultimate symbol of love, and we welcome the opportunity to celebrate with you. So start the new year with some new excitement, new hope, and some new bling. Diamonds Direct on Mayfair Road in front of Mayfair Mall. Proud to call Milwaukee home. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
When we come back from a trip, but our luggage does not, that's usually not a good thing. But what about the invisible baggage we carry? Our old sins and regrets. Hear how God's forgiveness in Christ is a gift from far away that puts those regrets away as far as the East is from the West. Our guest speaker is Dr. Dan Pavela, this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Hey, John Mercure, I've got a couple of slots left on this incredible trip we're taking to Italy in October. Italy in October. My wife, Michelle, me, with the best company in the business, Colette. I'd love for you to be with us. An amazing itinerary. A week in Sicily. The cobblestone piazzas and ornate buildings of Palermo. The breathtaking Amalfi Coast in Sorrento. The deep blue hues of the Mediterranean as we sail to Positano. That's so great. The ruins of Pompeii, buried by ash 2,000 years ago. And we're adding on Rome. Rome may be my favorite city in the world. It's Italy in October. I'd love for you to come with us. Let me get you the information. I've got beautiful brochures. It's got the pricing, detailed itinerary, everything you need to know. Shoot me an email, john.mercure@WTMJ.com. john.mercure@WTMJ.com. Lots of wine, great food, time for shopping, and top-tier hotels. It's Southern Italy and Sicily this October. john.mercure, MERCURE, @WTMJ.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm Jessica Gatso. Your top story, a new bridge coming to Lake Superior's St. Louis Bay.
I'm Wyatt Farmore-Pooley, and we've got some traffic sneaking back in now on 43 southbound, starting at Capitol, heading down south past Keefe, and pick it up again when you get closer to the Marquette. 43 northbound is more consistent. You're going to come out of the Marquette all the way up past Locust, almost to Keith, with some brake lights there. Good news about 41 southbound, though. That seems to be improving. You're going to only see about a 2 or 3 minute delay there, mostly between Hampton and Capitol. 894 is slow, both southbound and westbound in the Hale and Mitchell interchanges, respectively. And 94 is slow still both ways through the Stadium interchange, backed up a couple minutes either way. I'm Wyatt Barmar-Pooley with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Still looking at that fog today, we've got a fog advisory in effect for Kenosha, Racine, Ozaki, Sheboygan, Waukesha, and Milwaukee County until 9 p.m. Tonight, rain is also likely, a low of 36. On Friday, it's still going to remain foggy, and we'll see some showers, a high of 41. At 5:32, it's 36 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the president making a stop in Superior, Wisconsin today, announcing $1 billion in federal funding to replace the Blatnick Bridge between Minnesota and Wisconsin.
The president returning to Superior nearly 2 years after his last visit, shortly after the signing of the bipartisan infrastructure law. Since then,
we've already invested $6.1 billion in Wisconsin.
And now $1 billion more for repairing the Blatnick Bridge. President Biden says the issue was never too far from mind.
We knew this bridge needed a lot of work. Tammy didn't let me forget that either.
The president thanking Senator Tammy Baldwin and saying,
credit your governors, and I mean it sincerely, and your state legislators for coming up with the matching money to invest in this bridge. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gotten done.
Wyatt Barmar-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Assembly Republicans have voted this afternoon to pass a bill banning abortions after 14 weeks of pregnancy. Governor Tony Evers is expected to veto it. The legislation would ban abortions 14 weeks after, quote, probable fertilization, with exceptions for situations in which the mother's life or health would be endangered without the procedure. The bill would reduce the time frame for legal abortions in Wisconsin by 6 weeks. The bill passed with a 53-46 vote. Next, it heads to the Republican-led Senate. A shakeup for Cudahy Schools. Superintendent Tina Owen Moore is resigning effective this June. Owen Moore, who has been superintendent for 4 years, announcing her resignation to the Cudahy School Board during its meeting on Monday. The Journal-Sentinel reporting that Owen Moore cited political divisions on the board in her resignation letter, saying she felt that, quote, preconceived ideas about who she was personally hampered her tenure as superintendent. The city of Milwaukee has a goal to eliminate all traffic-related deaths or serious injuries by the year 2037. Jessica Weinberg is the policy director of the initiative Vision Zero. She tells TMJ4 News.
We do know overall that crashes in the city, especially those with deadly or serious outcomes, really impact certain neighborhoods the most.
Weinberg is developing a Vision Zero action plan, and the city is hosting a series of open house meetings encouraging the community to attend to give feedback and give their own ideas. Meetings will be held in neighborhoods where the burden of traffic accidents are felt the most, such as near the intersection of Fond du Lac and Capitol Drive. The first meeting is tonight from 5 to 7 at the Office of African American Affairs. High school juniors attending Milwaukee Public Schools can now apply to Milwaukee's 2 largest colleges for free. Milwaukee Direct Admit is a new initiative by the M-Cubed Partnership, providing a streamlined online application to the Milwaukee Area Technical College, University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, or both schools. It does not require any fees or additional paperwork like essays or letters of recommendation. Students who apply are guaranteed acceptance to at least one of the schools they select. Applications are being accepted until June 14th. The Athletic is reporting the Bucks and Doc Rivers have agreed to a multi-year deal that will make Rivers the head coach of the Bucks through the 2026-27 season. The Bucks host the Cavaliers Friday night. Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, and Dak Prescott are finalists for the Associated Press 2023 NFL Most Valuable Player Award. I'm Jessica Gatso, citing Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 5:35.
News is sponsored by Holiday Automotive. Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
Hey, Wisconsin, Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac, where the New Year's sales event is on. Make Holiday your destination to explore all that's new, shop an impressive selection, get in on enticing offers, and get more Mazda for your money and more for your trade. Right now, well-qualified buyers can lock in rates as low as 0% for up to 5 years and drive inspired in a raved-about new Mazda CX-30, CX-5, or CX-50 with standard I-Active all-wheel drive. Connect with Holiday and navigate navigate today's car market with confidence. Relax and enjoy their transparent, simplified buying approach and genuine guest care. It's the stuff that delights and makes fans of drivers from all over, and I'm one of them. You'll be in great hands with Wisconsin's #1 Mazda dealer, top-selling Mazda certified pre-owned dealer, and the Badger State's only recipient of the prestigious Mazda President's Club Award on your side. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
It's the last resort that comes with a grueling and painful recovery. And from what I've been told, it never really feels quite natural. A total knee replacement may make the pain you're living with eventually go away, but it opens up a Pandora's box of other possible issues. And that's why surgeons who really do care will tell you that it's a last resort. There are other surgeons who cry, "Replace! Replace!" But the physicians you'll find at Rejuvenex are primarily concerned with relief. And you may find out that the relief we give you helps so much so that you may not need to get that total knee replacement. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics. Our FDA-approved pain treatments aid inflammation and lubricate your joints. And in most cases, insurance has been shown to cover the costs. At Rejuvenex, we can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets. Did you know people with shoe racks are 7 times more likely to be on time for work? Inspired Closets will help you calm the chaos in your closets or your laundry room, your pantry, any space that needs it. They come out for a free visit, listen to your needs, and then use their special 3D software to customize a space that helps you manage your world. Call my friends Katie and Dan today, wife-husband team ready to help. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. Inspired Closets, MKE.com.
Do you check your savings account and wonder if you're even saving at all? At Town Bank, we view banking differently and actually want to see your savings grow. With our amazing new CD rates, you can now earn even more, so you can sit back and relax. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results, and start earning more. Go to townbank.us/locknewrates or visit a Town Bank branch nearest you today. Bank differently with Town Bank. Member FDIC.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Let's bring in TMJ4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky. Hello, Niz.
Yo, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Man, doing good. We've been talking bingo on the show because I don't know, if you're looking for a side hustle, Potawatomi is looking to hire new bingo callers.
You'd be great, Niz.
You'd be really good at this.
It'd be fun. It'd be really fun. What are they paying?
Careful,
Do you know?
Careful what you're saying.
It's not about the money. It's about the experience, pal.
And they don't like fun. It's all very, very businesslike. Have you ever called like a media bingo, a celebrity bingo?
I have not. I mean, I've done some auctioning in the past, which, again, when it starts to get to be some high stakes, it's a big responsibility.
It is.
But never done the bingo, though. And I know there are people who take that serious.
Oh, very serious. So I did it at Potawatomi a few years ago, and I was up there, and I wanted to have fun. So I would go like, 66, 66, clickety-click. And there was a lady who was having none of it. Just give me the numbers. Just what are you doing? Repeat the number.
Don't distract me with any of your nonsense.
You're a bum. Just read the numbers.
She wasn't going to give you a cut if you gave her bingo, that's for sure.
No, probably not. But it is rocking down at Potawatomi. They have a lot of people that show up there to play bingo.
I got to get down there again soon. I still got to check out. Is the sports book? Is that still technically under construction? I know the actual book is open, but
working on it. That maybe a spring kind of thing, perhaps with that. That's still kind of TBD.
Yeah, I got to make my way down there.
It's coming
been a little while.
Yeah, Rock and Brews is cool too. I was in there for the first time. That's a great place. That's the Kiss Bar.
I always talk with Julie. I'm like, whenever we are there, we're like, why not more often? Like, I mean, kids ruin everything with our lives right now. But like, if there was like a night we didn't have anything going on, we could like make it like our own little Vegas night. We're going to go down there. We're going to stay. We're going to eat. We're going to, drink. We're going to gamble. And I mean, it's happened. It just doesn't happen as much as it should.
All right, so speaking of kids, I am walking my daughters and our dog to the bus stop this morning, and it's foggy as can be, right?
Terrible.
So my daughters are young, and you've seen them before, so they asked the question, my 7-year-old, Dad, where does fog come from? And then it's one of those weird dad moments where you're kind of stumbling into your answer. And I was only bailed out of it because my dog started doing a number 2 in a snowbank. So that kind of helped me. I was like, well, you've got some warmer air and then some cooler air and it's all wet. So that's kind of where I was going. But I really didn't have a good answer. And I was ashamed of myself.
Well, fog develops in different ways. Now, the fog we're seeing right now is totally aided by our snowpack that's on the ground. So you're onto something. So we have in general for January mild, moist air mass that's already saturated with moisture. It already has as much moisture as it possibly can handle. And then you have the cooling effect of the snowpack that's on the ground. So then it cools this already, saturated air mass that the air can't hold any more moisture. So it has to produce something. It has to release that moisture as it cools. And then as the snow continues to melt, it evaporates and adds moisture that way as well. So that's why we're seeing some really dense fog across the area. Basically, the air has as much moisture as it possibly can handle at that temperature, whether you're at 35, 36 degrees, whatever. The air can't hold any more moisture, so it's got to go somewhere.
How unusual is it to have this dense of fog for several days in a row this time of year?
It does happen frequently. However, I will say the intensity of the fog is some of the deepest, is some of the densest fog that I've seen here in southeastern Wisconsin. I drove home from the Bucks game last night, and it was to the point of let's just get off on Port Road instead of 43 and go slower. It was pretty crazy. So I do think we could see intervals of fog like this not only linger tonight, but again tomorrow, and then maybe again on Saturday, because temperatures are still going to be above freezing most of that time frame. So we're going to continue to see snow melting, adding moisture to the air. But one thing that will improve tonight as far as visibility is the rain that's moving in. So rain will come in, kind of wash away, for lack of a better term, some of the dense fog. But once it lights up, then the fog returns, and you get the idea.
Is there another deep freeze on the horizon, Niz? I mean, the outlook here is pretty mild for a while.
No, I think the coldest day next week I have is I want to say it's Tuesday at 38 degrees, and we might have a little rain snow mix on that day.
Wow.
But besides that, it looks like 40 and above for the foreseeable future this weekend. And then next week, I think we're flirting with 50 maybe by the end of next week. So, any snow that's on the ground is going to continue to melt away here over these next several days. So enjoy the snow while you got it. We've had some good sledding days. These last a couple days ago, took the kids sledding, built an igloo for them too and stuff. So enjoy it while we have it.
All right, lead us through what the next few days look like, beginning with tonight in that fog.
Yep. So tonight, rainy with periods of fog. Now, if the rain picks up, the fog goes away a little bit. So it's kind of a give and take there. Low temperature, 35 degrees. For Friday, light rain, areas of fog continue. Total rain tonight and tomorrow could be over a half inch, maybe even a few spots up to an inch of rain. Not too concerned with flooding, but it's a good idea to go out and make sure your storm drain is clear of the snow so this rain has somewhere to go. 40 for the high tomorrow. Saturday, mostly cloudy and mild. Chance of fog, a high of 40. Sunday's the day we could actually see a few peaks of sunshine. Partly cloudy, mild, a high of 42. Monday, mostly cloudy and mild, and a high temperature of 42.
And it's like 60% of the country is under this fog, Niz.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You look at the map. The dense fog advisory covers, like several states, almost the entire Midwest here. So, and that's also because most of the Midwest has a good snowpack as well. So, all these temperatures. This is supposed to be the dead of winter. This is when we have our, on average, coldest temperatures of the year. And that certainly is not the case. Bad news for next week is Winterfest in Lake Geneva.
Yeah, that's going to be rough. All right, he is Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky. Niz, thank you so much. We'll talk again tomorrow.
Yep, see you guys later.
It is 5:45 at WTMJ. Brewers broadcaster Sophia Minnaert up next.
I'm Randy Miller. In 1969, my Uncle Lou started a roofing and siding business called All Right. That company joined NARI, the National Association Remodeling Industry. 50 years later, I'm proud to be at the helm of both All Right and NARI Milwaukee as president. Integrity, ethics, and high standards build a legacy both in business and in life. I learned this from my Uncle Lou and the NARI leaders before me. Learn more at ALLRITE remodeling.com/NARI.
Hey, let me tell you about Sit Means Sit dog training. They're the best. I've got beautiful dogs, 2 corgis. One is 8, one is 4, Bella and Baxter. They didn't always listen how I wanted them to listen. Went to Sit Means Sit dog training. They made me a better dog owner, so I could help my dogs be better dogs. It's Sit Means Sit dog training. They've got the trainers and the techniques that are the best in the business. We've got better dogs. Our dogs are just better behaved. You too can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. Work with the teams at Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Matt and his teams are absolutely fantastic. We started with a free consultation. You can do the same. Start with that free consultation at one of their many locations. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training.
Losing sleep lately? The job, the house, the headlines, or investments? How about the feeling your investment partner isn't a partner at all? They might be operating in someone's best interest, but that someone isn't you. It's time for Annex Wealth Management. It's easy. Head to annexwealth.com, click the Get Started button. We work in your best interest as a fiduciary. That commitment runs so deep, we put it in writing. Does your advisor do that? Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Start at annexwealth.com.
Hey, have you signed up yet? All you got to do is download the app. It's Underdog Fantasy. That's right. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzek inviting you to play along with me, visiting UnderdogFantasy.com or downloading the app. And when you get signed up, use that promo code WTMJ, and they will deposit $100 into your account if you deposit $100 into the account. In fact, they'll double your deposit up to $100. Put in 10, they'll add 10 at Underdog Fantasy. So what is it? It's a pick'em game. All you have to do is pick between 2 to 5 players. Select higher or lower on player stats. Giannis in points, Giannis in rebounds, maybe Donovan Mitchell of the Cavaliers if you're looking at tomorrow night's game. Higher or lower on their suggested point total. That's all you got to do. Pick 2 to 5 players, and you can win. And yes, it's legal in Wisconsin. Underdog Fantasy. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. It's Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code WTMJ, and they will deposit $100 into your account, up to $100. In fact, they'll double your deposit. Whatever you put in, up to $100, they will double it. There you go. Play along with me. Do fantasy games with your friends. Customize your own experience at UnderdogFantasy.com.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
While you're navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329.
Let's check those roads with Wyatt, who's in for Debbie. Wyatt?
Hey, John, it feels like I'm doing traffic back home in San Francisco with all this fog. The delays have worked themselves out on 41. No real major slowdowns there, but they're coming back on 43 southbound. We're seeing some delays up by Hampton and also pretty thick down starting at Capitol coming south towards the city. 43 northbound still slow all the way up to Keefe. 94 is, again, it's been pretty consistent all day. You're going to be 2 or 3 minutes slow and a lot of brake lights through the stadium. Once you get past, it'll be good. 894 southbound slow through the Hale, and 894 westbound slow coming out of the Mitchell. I'm Wyatt Barmar-Pooley with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sophia Minert is the Brewers reporter and broadcast and digital features content director. She is all over the place, including most recently in the Dominican Republic, and she is with us this afternoon. Sophia, how are you?
There she is. Hello.
Hi, guys. It's great to be on with you. Thank you for having me.
Sophia, you weren't one of those who sued Madonna for showing up late at a concert in New York the other day, were you? That wasn't you?
That was not me.
Okay.
How could you sue Madonna?
Right.
That's what I'm saying here.
The material
2
girl.
hours late. Darn right
Yeah.
she is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, show some respect for Madonna. Whatever she was doing, I'm sure was very important.
I was really interested, Sophia, to read your stuff about the Brewers Dominican Academy. And I wanted to ask you about the process to do this. There were big-time people down there. You were down there. This seems like it was a long process. It looks beautiful. Why is this a big deal?
Well, it is a big deal. I think for fans, some of them may not even be aware that the team, and actually every team in Major League Baseball has a presence in the Dominican Republic. It is just sort of the hub of international player development. And so I think for fans, they're probably more familiar with, American Family Fields of Phoenix and Maryvale, where they do spring training and they have rookie ball and instructional league and fall league, things like that. And I think that's where people associate, getting to meet the players and starting spring training, starting the season. It's like where player development starts. But they have a very similar operation in the Dominican. And so this was a long time coming for them. Their previous facility, which I actually visited 10 years ago, which is hard to believe. And we did a series of shows on that called Baseball in the Dominican Republic. And we talked about kind of the academy and the role it has in player development on the international side. Internationally, players are able to sign a professional contract as young as 16 years old. So we actually just passed the International Signing Day, which is January 15th. And so the Brewers were able to sign 35 new international players on that day, and then they are brought into the system. A lot of them will go to the academy, which is just outside of Santo Domingo, which is the capital city in the DR. And that is where they start. And the goal for them is to start their development process. They live at the academy, so the new facility that they built can accommodate up to 100 players. They've got dorm rooms, a full kitchen, they get nutrition there, they take classes, and they have education classes. There's also, classes in English. They're obviously doing a lot of baseball training, so they've got all the resources there for that. It is basically it's a full-blown academy. They're living there during the week. The staff is there during the week with them, and the goal for them is to move out of the DR and get to Arizona and work your way up the minor league system.
So this is for players already in the Brewers organization, correct, Sophia? This is not really used for scouting. It's not necessarily for existing players at the major league level who might be going home, though I guess it could be open to them. But really, it's more for the development of players signed into the Brewers system?
Yeah, I think that is the primary function, Greg. It is primarily for the players who have already signed with the organization, like I just said, with the signing day. It can be players that maybe need an additional year of development. But, you think about a major league player like Freddie Peralta or Abner Uribe, guys who live in the Dominican in the off season, they can travel to the academy, and that basically operates like a training center for them. And that's the old academy is where Freddie Peralta essentially developed his slider before the 2020 season. He was there working with Carlos Villanueva and some of the staff there, and he would make his weekly trip over to the academy. So it can be a place for that. It can be a place where they can hold tryouts for the incoming international class. That process is already underway. But it is primarily for the prospects who are there, who are recently signed, and again, are hoping to make their way to Arizona, to the minor leagues, and then obviously the end game being to come to Milwaukee as a major leaguer.
Sophia Minard is with us on WTMJ. Sophia, I wanted to ask you about Marquette. You're a proud Marquette alum. What do you think about this basketball team?
It's been fun. I think they had a little bit of a little spell of adversity there with a very brief 2-game losing streak. But when you have the expectations that Marquette has, coming into this season, they were 2 tough losses. And then obviously you lose Sean Jones to the ACL injury, which, was a huge bummer for the team and affects their depth as they continue to play without Chase Ross. So I've really enjoyed getting to know Coach Smart, having done the show with him of Inside Marquette Basketball for the last 3 seasons now. So he is great to talk to. He's really thoughtful. He's very passionate. I love just how he pulls different analogies that you're not expecting. I just love how he talks about his players and how he talks about his team. I think you spend about 30 seconds around him, and you know how much he cares and just how deeply invested he is. So I feel like Coach Smart has been just an absolutely perfect fit for Marquette and for the program.
Better to stumble in December than stumble in March, right? Might as well get it out of the way.
I mean, everyone stumbles, right? I don't think anyone was expecting this team to go undefeated despite, all the expectations and the high rankings that they've had. And they had a great showing in the Maui Invitational, knocking off Kansas and then a great game against Purdue in the final. But look, the Big East is tough. We know that. And I think it's been fun to watch them, handle those expectations. Like, they know that they're getting every team's best shot, every night. So I think hopefully there's still a lot of good basketball ahead of them.
Sophia Minnaert, you can check her out on Bally Sports. She covers the Brewers. She covers a lot of different sports things, and the broadcast and digital features content director. It's always fun when we have you on the show. Thank you, Sophia.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right. It is 5:56 at WTMJ.
Even when the weather outside is frightful, your energy bill could be much more delightful. Replacing drafty windows and doors can dramatically lower your energy costs. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin's energy-efficient windows keep the cold outside where it belongs. You'll help kick the January blues when you choose to book by the 31st for 0% interest up to 36 months. You heard that right. No interest for up to 36 months if you book by January 31st. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Hey, 620 WTMJ fans. Gary Ellison here for my friends at Best Electric Services. They're family owned and operated and have been serving you for over 50 years. No job is too big or too small, whether it's completing a residential or commercial project or even installing electrical vehicle charging. Best Electric provides quality service at fair prices. They are experienced and licensed electrical contractors ready to get to work. Connect with the Best Electric Services. Find out what they can do for you and visit bestelect.com today.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ. A good karma